Yo, what is up, everybody? What we have today on today's Arcade Showdown, we got Imyt versus Andy, best of 3. Rule set today is most points by 45 minutes. You get 1 point per room past room 10, and you get 2 points per room past room 50. Imyt and Andy, are you both here? Are you both ready? All right, Imyt and Andy, Arcade Showdown, both players getting ready. Let's see if they start with that CWJ at the beginning. As you can see, Imyt's current PB 160, Andy's current PB 127. Both players a little bit rusty. Andy immediately getting that CWJ. Imyt having some trouble. Oh, and he is just off. Now here's the thing. Because there's a timer, a real-time timer, that we're gonna start right now. Because the timer is starting right now, you don't necessarily want to waste time on the CWJ in the beginning of the game. And Andy starting off immediately with that early speed booster. Imyt getting kind of a tough room and is able to make his way up there. But Andy getting the speed booster, getting the super missile, and Imyt also getting the speed booster. So speed booster, S tier item, one of the best things you can get in the showdown. It makes a lot of bad rooms become very good. In that situation right there, Andy could not get the super missile because neither player has morph yet. Imyt has to do 6 shots on each of these key hunters to kill them, and he cannot progress until he kills all the key hunters. So he's starting that off right now, and Andy finds those bombs right off the bat. Bombs is a very common room early game before you get anything else. Now, here's the thing: if you delay bombs longer in these sort of settings, it actually might be beneficial because in the end, one of the things you want to avoid in the showdown pretty often is charge beam, because charge beam is what will start putting items such as will start putting bosses in logic. In particular, Fantoon and Kraid pretty much require absolutely nothing other than the charge beam. Ooh, nice little shot by Imyt right there to missile out that key hunter on the left. But here we go. We have Imyt. He's gonna opt to get these missiles. You don't have to get these missiles. He's just gonna leave. And he finishes off that bomb Chorizo and gets another free missile pack. So Andy getting pretty well equipped with good stuff. He's got Spazer now. So one of the things that you want to do is focus on right doors. I think what Imyt wanted to do there maybe is consider taking a right door. He gets the high jump boots, but the reason you want to take these right doors is that's where the majority of the majors in this game are. The high jump boots that Imyt got from the left door is one of the other ones, is one of the few on the left side. But here's the thing. Andy now has that Spazer beam, and the room that Imyt's in, right? Because he doesn't have a beam, it's kind of slow to kill everything. But with the Spazer, the beam is wide and it's much stronger. So Andy in that previous room could have just shot everything out very quickly. Now, Andy now picks up that high jump boots, and Imyt finds morph. I don't think Andy has morph just yet. Now, morph and bombs together will open up the big pink room, which is what charge is in. And once again, we're trying to delay that as much as possible. You can't really do anything about it, but that's just how it's going to be. And Imyt gets a free E-Tank. So here we go. You see Andy with that Spazer beam right now, making short work of everything in here. What you pretty much want in Arcade is you want to get an early Spazer, early wave, and early speed booster, and then you're pretty much sitting pretty... Oh, Andy taking a hit on those bugs, but unfortunately, only room 16, not taking that much extra damage at this point. Andy was thinking about maybe jumping over there and getting that secret, but opts not to. Imyt is gonna head straight down this shaft. Doesn't want to touch any crabs. Crabs would spell instant death at this point. But the way that Arcade works, every 10 rooms, you're going to get a multiplier to increase in speed and damage of all the monsters in the game. Pretty much, some monsters will not move faster, but the vast majority of them will start moving faster and hitting harder. So in this case, once you start getting to like late stages of the game, everything is almost everything starts to one-shot you. So here we go. We got Andy running over, grabbing that secret on top of that Chozo. Imyt quickly jumping over and dodging that crab. The crabs at this stage of the game, their base damage is extremely high, so even early game, it's likely to one-shot them. Now, let's see. Imyt has to weave through, doesn't have any beams, and he doesn't have any missiles, so he can't deal with anything. Nice, weaves through them properly, and Andy has to make all his way all the way down, hits a crab! No, Andy hits a crab. So, first death of the night is Andy, and he gets to room 22. That gives him a total of 12 points, so Andy is going to now bank that 12 points, but Imyt is continuing to bank points at this point, and Andy is going to restart. He's gonna head to that right, and Let's go. Next game for Andy. Now here's the thing. You don't gain points until room 10. So that is a setback. Andy has to build the rooms up till he gets to room 10. And basically all that time he takes to get to that point, he's not gaining points. Whereas Imyt, every single room he goes through right now, he is now gaining points. Now Imyt wants to kind of take this a little bit slowly, but doesn't have a beam, so everything here takes 2 shots. Oh my gosh, he tried to deboost that. That was kind of dangerous, but in the end, he survives and he makes it through. Room 29, the multiplier, he's only got 2 levels of multiplier, so it's fine. Andy is spending some missiles to go ahead and kill those pirates. In the end, those pirates do give 750 points. Every 10,000 points that you get in arcade, you will gain an increase in time. So it is important to rack up points so long as they don't take you too long to get. But Andy going ahead and has to do 6 shots to kill these key hunters. So doing what Imyt had to do earlier. Now let's see. Imyt is going to start 2 missiles, 1 super. BT has 800 HP. Missiles do 100, supers do 600. So 2 missiles, 1 super, 800 damage, cleans them out optimally, and there we go. Imyt is moving on to the next room. That is the big pink, and that is charge beam. You have to get the charge beam. In this game, if you don't get the majors, the doors will all remain gray and locked. So until you get the major in the room, you cannot leave. So if you're ever wondering, oh, if that item is not good, why don't you just leave it? You cannot leave it because all the doors will remain locked. So here we go. Andy, you'll see he's standing in that pixel, a specific specific length of pixels where BT will slice a few times and then jump backwards, and then Andy's gonna step forward, and if you stand right there, BT will also slice a few times and then jump backwards. So those are specific spots that Andy and Imyt both understand and know to make sure that BT will just hop back and they will stay safe. And it's important because you get that no damage achievement, which will give you a bunch of extra points. Now here's the thing, you start with 3 minutes. But every 10,000 points you do gain that time. You're gonna see a little bit of tech right here for Imyt. He's gonna moonfall down, and he's going to break out the bombs right here so he can short charge back up. This room has 2 bonuses. One is called Up the Shaft. If you spark up here, then you get 5,000 points. The other thing is Cleanser. If you kill everything in this room, you get another 5,000 points. So that's 10,000 points immediately. That's good for plus 40 seconds for Imyt right there. And that's why this is one of the better rooms you can get with Speed Booster. Without Speed Booster, the Cleanser is slow. And with Speed Booster, you get the Up the Shaft and the Cleansers very quickly. So that's one of the reasons why Speed Booster is so powerful. A lot of rooms become like that. Now Andy gets BT once again. It typically, I believe the logic works that every 32, after 32 rooms, you could start getting the same rooms again. However, you might ask, how did Andy get BT twice so quickly? After you collect the bombs, it's considered a new room. BT without bombs and BT with bombs are not considered the same room. So now you won't see BT for, at least 32 rooms or so. Imyt getting the infamous Oats room where it's a little bit slow, the Batoon E-Tank hallway, and he gets that grapple. So grapple is a powerful item. However, it does introduce a few really, really bad rooms, notably the Coliseum room, as well as the X-Ray Hall. Both of the rooms are very dangerous and very slow. So the other thing it does introduce, however, is you can start doing things like a grapple jump, and grapple jumps will give you a ton of points in a few rooms as well. So Andy quickly moonfalls down that shaft, grabs a super missile. Once again, he's got that early beam, that early spacer, so that's gonna be nice. Does Imyt have a beam? He's got that ice beam, so that's not quite good. So Andy with the grapple, as you can see, is putting this Coliseum room in logic, which is okay from the right side and the right side. However, if you get it from the left side, you have to traverse the whole thing, and it's absolutely horrible. Imyt, misses that short charge, takes a hit. It's not the hit he wanted to take. Andy, meanwhile, has an absolutely strong beam. This is one of the best beams you can get at the start of the game, that wave plus phaser. The ice beam that Imyt has right now, honestly, is not really that great. It adds a little bit of power, but it does slow you down a little bit. Ooh, Imyt falling in the acid. That's really dangerous. Don't want to take the death right there. Oh no! Imyt takes a death, and Andy gets the 2 bad rooms. He gets X-Ray Hall as well, the other one we're talking about. But Imyt getting 42 rooms, that's good for 32 points. So let's get that audio switched over to Andy real quick. And oh boy, that's really loud. Let's lower that a little bit. Okay, so we have Imyt with that score. He's going to get 32 points. And is Andy going to be able to get across the X-Ray Hall? Yes, he does get across. It's a pretty tough room. And the biggest problem is late game. What ends up happening in that room is the multiplier. The way that the enemies scale in this game, what ends up happening is like the farm bugs become the most dangerous thing in the game. They start one-shotting you, and the waivers would have absolutely given them some trouble. Imyt immediately gets the Turian Leodox room, decides, you know what, that room sucks, I'm just gonna reset. So he doesn't want to do that room, takes too long, takes that reset, and goes on to move to the next room. So here we go. We have Andy, room 27, building up some points right now. As of right now, he has room 28, so that's good for 18 points. So as of right now, currently 2 rooms, now 1 room behind Imyt, yet at the same time, Imyt now has to get up to room 10 before he starts gaining points in the first place. So this is definitely Andy's time to maybe catch up at this point and pass up Imyt. So good start for Imyt. We were talking about this before, but Imyt's like, I'm just gonna reset every room until I get wave room 1. And here we go. We got Imyt's got that early wave beam, one of the strongest beams that you can get. And Andy, room 30, the multiplier for room 30 does not happen. It starts at room 31. So now we're gonna see Andy take additional damage. It's the 3rd multiplier on for him, but here we go, and he quickly gets that secret, and Imyt's gonna slowly go down the shaft. Now you're gonna see Andy do a little crouching down grab to reach the sledge, and you're gonna see him jump on the very edge and get that final wall jump. It's a little bit of a tricky room, but Andy gets through it just fine. That's his experience as a stronger randomizer player. Here we go. Andy quickly flies up that shaft, and Imyt is going to kill that crab and move on to the right. So Andy's in an incredibly good spot right now. He's got that speed booster. Imyt now has a speed booster too. So Imyt's actually also in a very good spot, but he's got some ammo. He's also got full PRKD, full any percent Phantoon first beam combo. So really looking good for Andy. This is his time to shine. What both of these players want, and one of the most powerful things that you can get in arcade, is a reserve tank. That is maybe one of the most powerful items, because in this game, once you start getting to room 40, 50, 60, things are just gonna start one-shotting you. Even the small things will start one-shotting you. What the reserve tank does is, if you go to 0 HP, the reserves pop. However, even if you get hit for 3,000 damage, the reserve pops and you get an extra life. That's what you really want to see in this case. So this is a spot, Andy might not know that those are shot blocks now. In the vanilla game, they're not shot blocks. Watch out for the snail! Oh my gosh, Andy survives. He dodges the snail. That was amazing. Snail does a ton of damage, especially suitless, and that would have absolutely killed him, but Andy survives, shooting Gary in the face and gets through. Meanwhile, we have Imyt also with an amazing beam combo. So very, very good start for both these players. Andy wants to be careful. The little pancake items that the pancake guys that pop up there, they would pretty certainly one-shot Andy at this point. The waivers probably would not, but later in the game, the waivers will also probably end up one-shotting him. So right now, Andy, room 43, so really doing quite well, banking up a ton of points. 3 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock for Andy as well. Ooh, has to get through. Now, if Andy missed that second grapple and fell into the water, there are a bunch of worms down there, and he probably would have ended up getting killed immediately. So good for Andy to get through. He's banking up a ton of points. If Andy can keep this run going, that's going to be very hard for Imyt to catch up at this point. 33 minutes left on the clock, and Imyt, once again, fights BT a little bit later, but it's really good. Once again, has supers and 2 missiles. So 2 missiles, 1 super. What nice little YOLO attempt for Andy. Flies right into the ceiling. But what ends up happening oftentimes is you find BT early game, Bomb Torizo, and it's a 40-shot fight with your P-shot. So it actually takes a really long time. So if you can get that extra super missile and the missiles, it cuts down that BT fight a lot. And it really does matter when you only have 45 minutes to start on the clock. So Imyt is gonna go ahead and spend some time shooting out these little atomics. They do give 500 points each. So shooting them out with that beam combo does actually pre-50 save some time. Andy, okay, going ahead, doing some flexing some randomizer knowledge, and wants to collect that extra missile. That's gonna help. Now, one of the reasons why you want extra missiles, particularly, is for the Phantoon fight if you do end up fighting him, because it is kind of a tough fight without at least a selection of missiles. Now, Andy is gonna go ahead and grab that secret behind the energy tank refill and leave that door. Now, for those who don't know, starting room 50. Every 10,000 points, you now gain 30 seconds. Prior to room 50, it's 40 seconds per 10k points. And if you get to room 100, after room 100, you only get 20 seconds per 10k points. So your time really starts draining unless you go really quickly. Andy's a little bit scared right here because there's those hoppers down there. He's at room 48. He's not sure how much damage they'll do, so he's a little bit careful. Grabs that 2k secret and wants to make sure he kills these bugs because he's not probably sure if the bugs will kill him at this point. It's only room 40, so he might survive, but it's understandable that he might take that death, so he's got to be a little bit careful. So Andy's coming down here. He has has not found charge beam up until this point, and he has to collect this to now progress. So Andy's heading down left. You can either take that right path or this bottom left path. The left path will avoid Fantoon and will avoid Kraid. So the left path is a little bit safer in the context of a run where you have 45 minutes to score as many points as possible, because the boss fights do take quite a bit. Fantoon can take ages. Kraid normally can go a little bit quicker. So here we go. We have Andy heading out to the left, and we have Imyt heading out to the right. Both players doing quite well at this point. Imyt already basically gaining a ton of points at room 37 now. And Andy is gonna also kill some of these atomics for 500 points each to gain a little bit of time. Now here we go. Andy gets Crocomire. Oh, that's so bad. So here's the thing. In a real arcade run where you're going for a PB, where you're going for as many points as possible, when you fight a boss, your timer stops. So boss rooms, in theory, if you can do them, are the best rooms you can absolutely get, because you can only gain time at the expense of potentially dying. But if you're going for a big time, you want boss rooms. However, Croc takes so long. You have to fight him slowly. He has the RNG where he'll just swing his hand and waste time. And the thing is, after you kill him, you have to wait for his whole death animation. You have to go to left and go to that cutscene. So even though it's really good in a normal speedrun or attempt a context of getting as many rooms as possible, look at how much time Imyt's going through so many rooms while Andy has to wait for this whole animation because he can't reset. Andy is now gaining 2 points per room because he's past room 50. So this is one of those problematic things that if you go down, there are not as many down doors and up doors as there are at left or right doors. So if you go to take a down door, you are risking fighting that Crocomire. Now, if you go up, you risk fighting Spore Spawn, but that fight can be quick if you know how to do it. But Croc will always take a really long time. So, and meanwhile, Imyt already catching up, picking up basically 6 or 7 rooms while Andy had to fight Croc right there. So here we go. Andy now heading over. And Imyt is going to do this room, wants to do this room damageless. Okay, so he's gonna go ahead and kill the pirates. That's fine. It's roughly neutral to kill these pirates with this beam combo. You get 1,000 points per kill, but it is a little bit slow. You see Andy taking off the high jump boots. That's because there is an achievement where if you wall jump along the right side pipe and you get to the top, that's called the smooth achievement. You get some points for that, so you cannot have high jump boots to do it. So Andy cheeses the system a little bit, takes off the high jump boots and goes ahead and does it. Oh, Andy takes a hit from the waiver, but he's alive. Oh, he's probably nervous now. He's nervous. We gotta watch out. There's a waiver. Okay, there's no waivers at the end. He's fine. Now that's the problem. The waivers in those rooms, they'll be moving even if you're off screen. Andy, you got a spark. Andy, oh my gosh, he doesn't spark in the right spot. So, oh, watch the acid. He doesn't spark in the right spot, so he could have cleared the entire gauntlet right here. This is one of the worst rooms you can get in the arcade. And Andy takes the death. Andy takes the death. He flubs the spark and misses and gets hit by the waiver. But you know what? That's good for 52 points. 52 points for Andy. So he is now at 64 points. Well played by Andy. Honestly, I would say, even though he took that death right now, he's playing quite well. Now, Imyt, already at room 49. What we need to see from Imyt is to survive as long as possible, because he is about to hit that 2x, the 2x point multiplier. He is now at room 50, so every room after this, just like what Andy got earlier, is now worth 2 points. So here we go. Andy is gonna go and build his way back up to room 10 to start getting points. But here we go. We have Imyt quickly doing a little refill cheese. If you press start before you grab the refill, you can actually unpause and then move and not be stuck against the wall. Now, in the context of real time, maybe that's not the best strategy, but it is kind of arcade muscle memory. Now, Imyt has to be a little bit careful here. It's with this beam combo, the beam is so wide that as long as you spray, you'll probably be fine. But if Imyt does take a hit from the waiver, it will probably take out the majority of its HP. So here we go. Imyt is, he thought about going up. Okay, so you could have gone right to get the blinding bonus using a smooth super, but it does take some time. So here we go. Imyt doing quite well, room 57. So already banking up a ton of points. Andy once again getting that speed booster. So both players getting quite good seeds right off the bat. All right, so Imyt shooting out that crab on the way down, getting some free points. The mark of a strong player Ooh, hold on, hold that thought. This is a tough room for Imyt. He's got to be careful. There's a Sova coming along the ground. There's another hopper. Okay, now he has to make it up here. There's one more Sova along the wall, and he has to make these wall jumps up at the top with the high jump boots. Makes it up just fine, but look at all that health. Now 96 HP. Now if like a fly right here hits him, if one of these hoppers hits him, he's likely going to die, so he's got to take it a little bit carefully. Meanwhile, Andy is zigzagging through the Leodox room. Looks like he did take some damage, so no 5,000 point bonus for him. All right, so we have Imyt now heading over. Imyt never got morph? Room 62 never got that morph. So wow, really, really good seed for Imyt. That's crazy. I didn't realize it. So here we go. We have Andy at room 12 picking up that morph, but now Imyt is now it's possible for Imyt to get the charge beam room because he has morph and bombs. Now here we go. This is another room where you can get another 10,000 points. Imyt has to do a very tight short charge right here. It's gonna be a 3-tap short charge. That's how he's gonna do it. 5,000 points for that, 5,000 points to get the short charge up the shaft, so 10,000 points for Imyt. And room 63, immediately collecting that 30 seconds for free, so absolutely good for Imyt. Neither player has found a reserve yet, so no extra life for both of them. So Imyt is now at that point. Another great room for Imyt, another room where you can get up the shaft and the cleanser, so another 10,000 point room for Imyt. He's gonna have to unequip the ice beam here because if he shoots on the way down with the ice beam, he'll get stuck on the frozen mobs. That's one of the problems with ice beam, because if you have ice beam, it will always take at least 2 shots to kill, you know, the vast majority of enemies in this game. So Imyt now sparking up is going to clear out the rest of the mobs and is going to re-equip that ice beam. You need to keep it equipped because if you get a Metroid room and you don't have ice beam equipped, you will take that death. That Metroid will latch onto you and you will die. So, ooh, Imyt almost bonking his head on that little viola right there. Probably would have ended up killing him at this point. So, Andy now picking up that charge beam. I don't think Imyt even has charge beam yet. So this is looking quite good for Imyt. And Andy is now at risk of potentially getting bosses. So Imyt needs to do a speed boost across these gaps to fall down. There is a little trick you can do to jump and then do a quick moonfall, so you fall down this really long shaft a little bit faster. But I think he tried to maybe go for it once or twice and then decided, you know what, I'm not gonna waste my time at this point. So here we go, Imyt now moving on. He's gonna head left. Let's see what he gets. He is going to go up this wreck ship, and he's gonna do a little clipping bonus. Watch out for the little ghost. Almost got killed right there, but here you go. 3,000 points for that clipping bonus, and Andy getting a pretty bad room right here. There is a cleanser in the room that Andy's at. However, it takes a really long time to do it without any power bombs. So Andy's probably just gonna go ahead and move through because he has no way of killing these crabs very well. So not the greatest rooms for Andy, but he's gonna move on and take that up door. There is a crab coming for Andy. Get out of there. Okay, so here we go. Imyt now has to be careful and not get hit by a farm bug. These B-toms will also hurt him. However, the farm bugs are the ones that get you when you're distracted. So he collected that health. There's a farm bug that's gonna get ready to come. Watch out, farm bug coming. Okay, he's good, makes it through. There's an E-tank at the top, and Andy gets another bad room. Andy gets a horrible room. He has no good items to deal with everything in here. Imyt immediately hopping out in the crab tube, gets away. That's one of the dangerous rooms in the game, but he identified it because the door's room. Now look at this, but these players are gonna get a high five, but look, the difference in equipment. Imyt has such a good beam, he's just gonna fly through, kill everything in 2 shots, and Andy has to slog through. He actually has to kill them because there's a cleanser bonus in this room worth 5,000 points, and it is in fact worth it. Now, it's just the problem. I think Andy really wants to try using his missiles here. And he also has to be careful because I think everything in this room may kill him. He does have the E-tank, so he might survive if he shoots, but you can see Imyt just flying through these rooms right now. But Andy making good use of these missiles right now to speed up the process of getting through these rooms. So, oh, hit that pancake, gets the pancake. One more pancake for Andy. Doesn't want to use his last missile, so gets through, gets the cleanser bonus, and goes on through. Now, Imyt lays a power bomb, kills the 2 things at the top, and now he's gonna go ahead and lay a power bomb on the bottom right. That will kill the Ripper at the very right and kill the rest of the Sovas in the room to give him that cleanser bonus. So looking really good for Imyt right now. He's gonna go ahead and kill these pirates, doesn't want to mess with them. And Andy gets that Various suit. Now, Various suit can be good in some ways, but one of the problems is you cannot deal with monsters very well with no beams. However, Andy gets that screw attack, so if he does get Various suit rooms, Norfair rooms, it's dangerous, but with the screw attack, he's likely to be able to take care of everything in here. Now watch this. Both players get the same room. However, Andy has screw attack, so he's gonna get through so much quicker. Look how slow Imyt has to do this room because he's got no power bombs. He has to bomb through. It's one of the hardest rooms to do in this game and one of the biggest time sinks. So here we go. Andy is just flying through this room. The other thing to consider, even though Varia can give you tough rooms, Andy is only at room 20, and Varia still does reduce damage by half. So even though the enemies late game do scale very hard, what ends up happening, Imyt's gotta watch out, don't let the gamers touch you. There's 2 gamers coming on the way for Imyt. Okay, he takes care of it. Now, here's the thing. If Andy does take a hit from something like a bug right now, the multiplier is not that high. Not high enough because Andy's taking half damage on top of the multiplier. So it's actually looking pretty good for Andy, but I really would like to see him take some right doors so that he can get a better beam, because right now he's only got that pea shooter. If this screw attack runs out and he's got that pea shooter with Varia, he might be in a world of pain for the items that he gets. Imyt gets plasma room. This is the best room, one of the best rooms you can absolutely get, because everything in here is worth 1,000 points. There is a spark bonus in this room. If you spark, it's called not plasma spark. You get 3,000 points for it. And plasma is obviously such a broken item in the game that it's on a timer. However, Imyt is having some trouble right now with this spark. Okay, he's gonna get up now. He's gotta do an angle spark up here, and that will kill the bottom pirate, give him the 3,000 points for the spark, and Imyt is in such a good spot to get a really good time here. So here we go. Andy is gonna go ahead and continue on to the next room over to the left, and Imyt is going to get that space jump. So Andy's got to be a little bit careful on that. Okay, so the little Sova kill is fine. Andy's gonna get out to the right. Now Imyt is honestly looking to be in a really good spot. You see Andy making very good use of that screw attack, really kind of going through these rooms a bit quicker. Just screw attack and grabbed, and screw attack and just space jumping through everything right here. And is Imyt gonna spark across? No, I think he was a little bit too scared. There's some dangerous things that can happen. Now Imyt, with the grapple jump, with the grapple, he can do a grapple jump here. And that will give him 10,000 points. However, he jumped down here, so I don't think he's gonna do it. Now here's the thing. Andy got charged, and he now has to fight Kraid. Kraid is not usually a bad boss. However, Andy does not have that many missiles, and his beam sucks. So this is gonna be a really, really long fight for Andy. Okay, but that's good. Kraid's mouth opens right away. What that means is that every time Andy now shoots Kraid in the body or the face, Kraid is gonna open the mouth, so this should go a little bit quicker. Andy's gonna wanna maybe farm some of the claws to make sure he gets his missiles back, because the charge shot is just so much weaker than the actual charge beam is going to be. So Andy having some trouble right now getting through this fight. He's actually doing quite good, but unfortunately it's just a slow fight. It's another slow room for Andy. Oh, and one more missile. Oh, loses the damage list. Now you can get a damage list bonus on this in this room for Andy. However, he misses that out, so he's gonna have to make sure, yeah, he's gonna get that charge shot, and he is going to do another charge shot. I think at this point, one more missile in the face will take care of Kraid, and that's it. And he gets through, and Imyt gets punished here. He gets a slower room. Once again, gets the Batu and E-Tank call from the right side. So there we go. Andy, however, I don't think it's going to be as slow as the fact that Andy had to go through that Kraid boss fight. So here we go. Imyt is going to pick up this free E-Tank that he gets at, not entirely free because the room does kind of suck. And Andy is going to grab that secret, and yes, Andy, okay, that's nice, some missiles. So the missiles can supplement the beams. However, you really, really, really need some beams. Even just one beam can make such a difference. Andy is thinking about, there's a super missile at the end of this, and Andy decides, you know what, I'm going to go for the super missile. There's also a secret in the middle of these two pillars. Let's see if he knows to get that one. Yeah, he's gonna grab that secret. It's only 750. However, Andy mainly wants to get the super missile here, so I don't know if it's necessarily worth it to grab this. And Imyt, does Imyt not have charge? Oh no, Imyt takes a hit. Oh my gosh, Imyt in the charge room, unfortunately, dies at room 93, takes a hit from the hopper. I'm sure he's not too happy about that one. However, 93, room 93, that's good for 126 points, putting Imyt at 158. So here we go, a new start for Imyt. And Andy is gonna go ahead and start racking up points. Already at room 47. So both these players honestly showing quite good consistency, racking up a bunch of points. So Andy taking his time going through this room. I think Andy honestly might want to start cooking and go a little bit faster, because Imyt banked up a lot of points in that last room. 93 rooms in an arcade showdown is definitely one of the higher rooms that we've seen, because it's not that easy to get that far. But once again, you know, when you take a hit like that to die, when you're in such a good spot and you have that plasma, your beam is really good, and you take a death like that, that's got to be a blow to your morale. So will Imyt be able to recover, bounce back, and do well on this next run? And if he doesn't, if he has some trouble at this point and Andy keeps this run going, then he could easily turn around at this point, because right now Andy has 42 points banked up, and but Imyt still with that 158 he's still trying to catch up to Imyt. So it's very crucial that Andy catches up. But oh no, Andy gets, this is such a bad room. The best thing Andy could probably do here is probably go to the right and try to convince this key hunter to go back up to the top in the tunnel, because right now, if that key hunter touches Andy, he's absolutely dead. In the vanilla game, that key hunter would hit you for 100 damage. So with 50 rooms of scaling, Andy's just gonna have to take his time and charge shot that key hunter, even though it takes forever. So Andy goes ahead and does that. Watch out, there's waiver coming, Andy. He's just gonna leave. He doesn't want to get that cleanser. He's gonna move on to the next room. However, Andy still has 2 minutes and 9 seconds on the clock. So this is a good run for Andy. If he was at room 50 and he only had like a minute left on the clock, I think he'd maybe be in a bit of a bad situation. But looks like Imyt went ahead and reset, was in a bad situation. Oh, Imyt, let's see if Andy can get through this room. He's got no power bombs. He has to go through. Oh, he survives. The ouch buries himself and gets through. Does Andy have wave beam? Can he? No, he's gonna have to missile. Watch how fast these flies go. Watch how fast they are. He's got the wave beam. He does have the wave beam. Okay, there's one more fly that he has to kill on the right. He can kill it if he gets really close to the edge. Yes, and he crouches and gets. Now he just has to wait for the water to come down and jump over. He doesn't want to touch any of the ouches. Anything in here would absolutely one-shot Andy at this point. So he's gonna move forward. And Andy, this room has power bombs. You cannot leave the room until you get the power bombs. Andy almost took a death right there. He knows. Now you saw Andy play a little bit slower in some rooms where he was a little bit nervous, but he sees the timer, 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock, and he's got room 57. He has to make this count, but he cannot go slow. So he's speeding up at this point. Andy, I think, already has that charge beam, so probably isn't going to go down. No, he is going to go down. Yeah, he's going to head to the right. Almost forgot. It's kind of, when you get big pink, you're always thinking charge, so he definitely thought about it. Now Andy has speed booster, so we're going to see him do angle sparks into the ceiling. That's too far. No, it wasn't. Okay, so good angle for Andy. He's gonna do it again on this left one. A little bit more to the right. And Andy's got it. So good, 3,000 points for each. And Andy sparks to the ceiling for fun and heads to the right. So here we go, room 59. And he's gonna go ahead and grab the secret on the left, and then he's probably gonna exit out this right door. And we have 13 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock, and he's gonna go ahead and kill all those Puyos for 500 points each. Moving on, and that's good for another 30 seconds on the clock. So Andy's gotta kill this. Oh, takes out the missiles and kills it really quick. Now what you wanna do, okay, Andy's gonna take this slowly. Be careful, Andy. One more missile to kill this guy. Okay, he's gonna take a shot. Take it slow. There's one more hopper on the right. Andy, be careful. Oh my gosh, he's gonna give you a heart attack. What I would do as Andy in this room, watch out for the Viola. What I would have done with Andy's room is kill the first 3 enemies, then go back to the left and spark across. Imyt gets a reserve tank. One of the best rooms you can get in arcade. It's a reserve tank. He does a little, oh, look at him. Look at him. He's popping off. He's teabagging. He's teabagging. So Imyt getting a reserve, that's amazing. So I don't think Imyt wants to let this run die with 13 minutes on the clock. No, Andy, he has to scoot forward on that pattern. That's the one dangerous pattern for Andy. But you know what? Room 63, and that is good for 66 points. And Andy now is at 130, but Imyt now climbing up the climb with a good loadout. And here we go. Let's change the score for Andy. And Imyt is now heading up the climb. And so Imyt's heading up the climb right now. If you do this quickly, then it's probably still not worth it. But Imyt goes ahead and does it. It's pretty much close to neutral. So that being said, here's the thing. We got 12 minutes left on the clock, right? And Imyt is behind. Or Imyt's not behind, right? Imyt's ahead by a good amount of points, 28 points, and he's already at room 14. So he's already gained 4 points at this point. Here's the thing. what can often come down and what can be the end result of Arcade Showdown is we get to the final run of both of these players, and the person that's ahead can absolutely get a string of bad rooms and then just lose when the other person gets ahead. So in the end, you don't know what's gonna happen until we get to the final room. So even though Imyt has a nice comfortable lead right now, it is far from over. So here we go. We have Andy going out the right, and we have Imyt grabbing that missile and is grabbing that charge beam. So Imyt getting that early charge this time. He does have a really good beam though, so he's pretty well equipped, but if he gets a few string of bosses, he might be in a pretty bad spot. So here we go. Andy is gonna grab that morph and he's gonna head out to the right. And Imyt gets a pretty bad room. This room is not too hard when you take it slowly, but every fish, every crab in here, right, will one-shot you. Even at the beginning of the game, these crabs and fish, they will end up one-shotting. So gotta be a little bit careful. And here's the thing, Imyt can survive a regular hit because he does have that reserve. So even if Imyt messes up and takes a hit here, he will survive for that reason. But he does have to gain some health to recover that reserve tank if he ends up losing it. So here we go, Imyt heading out to the right, and Andy falls into the Vile Plume. That's okay, it's still early in the game. It's just a little bit of a time loss, but it's okay. Now Imyt's gonna have to do a bomb jump to get up here. There's a few ways. You could do a double bomb jump, you could do a single bomb jump, but you can also do a wall jump bomb jump. But the most consistent way that most people will do it is just single bomb jumps up to the top, and then they'll tap right so that they can be propelled to the right, and Imyt does that very well, perfectly clean and well played by Imyt. And Imyt is going to get a set of power bombs here. He's got the missiles. He's gonna just go ahead and use the wave beam, not use the missiles here. That's completely fine. And Andy is going to head over to the right. Andy's gonna go ahead and try to collect some beams. That ice beam is okay, but it's not really that great. When we're talking about arcade beams, you pretty much want Spazer or you want wave beam. The plasma is obviously incredibly good. However, it is temporary. So yeah, just got to make sure that you get, there we go. We got that Spazer for Andy, so he's in good shape now. This run is looking a lot better for him. We got 9 minutes left on the clock for both players. Imyt tried to wall jump off that right side. That's not how that works. So he's just going to run over to the right, left, and then head over to the right. At that point, maybe you can consider just grabbing the missiles and then going down to the bottom left, because there's also a big secret there, but that's fine to go out the right as well. So Imyt is going to go ahead and use a power bomb right here to quickly kill all these flies. If you lay the power bomb far enough left and kill all the flies, every fly kill in there is 250, and in total you will gain 3,000 points getting out of there. So Imyt's looking quite good, gets another E-tank, is gonna head down, probably gonna head to the right door, and Andy gets that speed booster. So Andy's run also looking incredibly good right now. Now Imyt's gonna get this smooth right here. What we want to see from Andy at this point probably is his own reserve at this point, but here we go. Andy is gonna take care of this room quite quickly. That waiver almost got him, but at room 24, he's probably okay. It's probably okay, but yeah, just gotta be a little bit careful. Imyt getting another good room right here, and he forgot. Did Imyt get the up the shaft there? Because if you get a shine spark and go up, oh, maybe he doesn't have that speed booster, but if you spark up in that room, you do get a yeah, he's got no speed booster. Okay, you do get 5,000 points if you spark in that room. Andy has to freeze this guy. Andy has to freeze him. Okay, now the reason this ice beam puts this room in logic, it requires you to jump off of the fish. That's why you saw that fish respawn there, because if you kill all the fish, you need a way to get up there. So very well played by Andy to freeze that fish. You kind of have to know how many shots it takes to freeze, because if you kill it by accident, that's gonna really slow you down. All right, so, oh, Imyt taking a fall here. Andy getting plasma. Okay, so a lot of things going on here. Imyt, oh, has to dodge, because if you get through this room without taking a single hit, you do get a big bonus of time afterwards. So Imyt's just gonna go ahead and kill everything here. Andy's gonna go ahead and shine spark. Okay, oh, interesting way for Andy to do that. He's gonna go ahead and shine spark along the bottom, which gives him the bonus and kills the top pirate. However, that does mean he has to make this wall jump again. It's a little bit difficult, but not too difficult with that high jump. Without high jump, that wall jump is incredibly difficult. So here we go, Andy getting the plasma. There used to be some funny memes with Andy always getting plasma before room 30, but Andy got that plasma at room 31. So not an Andy seed today, gets that wave. So Andy's beam now looking incredibly strong, as strong as it gets actually. And we have Imyt heading over to the right. Room 32 for Imyt. Finally gets that speed booster. At room 35 for Andy. So here we go. 7 minutes on the clock. Anything can happen. We're winding down close to maybe the final rooms. Watch how fast Andy kills BT right here. Bam. 1, 2, 3. He is gone. All right, so Imyt getting a little bit of a slow room right here. However, it's the speed booster. The timing of the speed booster was really good. And does Imyt not have high jump? Because if Imyt had high jump, he could have just went up there. Okay, it looks like he doesn't. And he's gonna go ahead and grab that extra set of missiles. And he finally gets that charge beam. And Imyt is gonna grab the secret on the right, and he's gonna exit out the left now. All right, so here we go. 2 minutes on the clock for Imyt and 3 minutes on the clock for Andy. And Andy is currently ahead. Now, Andy with the plasma, you can kill, oh my gosh, Andy. He went halfway with it, but you can kill the ouches with plasma on the ground as long as they're moving either towards you or away from you. I believe it's towards you. So here we go. We have Imyt going through that room with speed booster, heading to the right, and Imyt now gets that Various suit. It's a double-edged sword. It does give you that defense, but it adds a lot of difficult rooms. 5 minutes and 40 seconds left on the clock for both players until their final run. And here we go. Andy, is he gonna go? Yes. Okay, so Andy's gonna go ahead and kill all the crabs in this room. He's gonna try to go for that cleanser. Now look at that. Look at this room with Imyt. We've seen these rooms with just the P shot. Look how much faster it goes with this beam. That's why you need any sort of beam, because you could either like shoot through the walls and the hitbox is just bigger. But Andy has to kill one more crab. It's that crab in the corner, and he's gotta jump and get him. Oh, finally gets that cleanser, 5,000 points. Now, here's the thing. One of the reasons why you may consider not doing cleansers when you have that plasma is because plasma ticks down even when... plasma actually does tick down even in situations where you fight like bosses and other rooms. So the plasma is ticking, and you want that plasma for as many rooms as possible. Now, Imyt, oh my gosh, he got quite close there. Now, Imyt is in a safe spot, right? However, he's about 2 pixels away from touching GT and getting killed. He probably would have been okay because he has the reserve, and it wouldn't have been that big of a deal, but this fight is quite slow. So, this is an interesting situation. Imyt was talking about thinking like, I wonder if I would take a reset when there's like 40 seconds left on the clock so I can start a new run. However, this fight's gonna take quite a bit of time, and Imyt's time on the bank, the time that he's banked is actually pretty decent. So there's a good chance that this could maybe be his last run. So there's a lot of things to consider here. So once again, Andy going through this room, the power of having a good beam to getting through this room, flying through, getting 500 points, 700 points everywhere, left and right, and getting rewarded with the 5,000 point room at the end. Cleanser in the end. All right, so Imyt taking his time. He just has to go ahead and charge shot everything right here, and Andy is gonna go ahead and move along. He's got 4 minutes in the bank. What Andy really needs at that point. Oh my gosh, Andy, watch out. Okay, his screen is Andy, because he shot the crab at the same time. This is gonna be like a 10-second door transition. His game is not frozen. It has not crashed. It's just really laggy. It's gonna take like 10 seconds. That kind of sucks. It's pretty funny, but he's fine. He has not crashed. You don't have to worry about that. More importantly, he survived through the crab room. Boss into boss. Okay, at this point, I think Imyt understands this is probably going to be his last run because he's got a reserve, he's got a great beam, he's banking up time at this point, so this is the run that he's going to make count. This is the run that he's going to make count. Meanwhile, Andy is going to go ahead and just head left and continue on forward as long as he can. But because Andy doesn't have that much health, oh, and Imyt almost gets the quick kill. The quick kill would have been worth so many points. However, doesn't quite get it, misses, just barely misses it. I'm sure he's not happy about that one, but it's okay. It's fine. Oh, that claw almost hit him, but that claw almost hit him in the end, but taking care of Kraid right there at the very end was completely fine. Now, Andy has to do an up spark here. If he did it, there's a little glitch where if Andy did an angle spark on that left side, he would not have gotten up the shaft. A boss rush for Imyt. Boss into boss into boss. Like, this is hard to find. Now, I mean, it's welcome. And another boss for Andy, so here we go. Things I would say right now are looking probably a little bit better for, I would say it's looking better for Imyt than it is Andy because Imyt's gonna go ahead and enrage Fantoon. Remember, enraging in a speed run is not good because it costs so much real time. However, in arcade, your timer on the top left is what dictates how good your run is gonna be, not a real time timer. So, going ahead and tactically enraging Fantoon to get a bunch of damage off, so you don't have to fight as many rounds of Fantoon. But Andy needs health and a reserve. If he doesn't have health and a reserve, it's gonna get pretty dicey, I would say. No, watch, this is one of the big things. Okay, oh, he couldn't get a 2 around here, but Imyt is known for his Fantoon fights, being one of the people that have popularized the run around Fantoon. So this is pretty much his jam, but watch out, he's not gonna get the damage. He got the no damage. He got it in time before the flame hit him, so he got no damage. That's worth 10,000 points. Very well played for Imyt, and he's gonna keep this run until the end. Now, double-edged sword, because if Andy can get through, Andy does not die. He does not die. The Varia saves him. Andy, do not grapple jump until the snail comes by. Okay, so Andy, run away! Okay, you know what? That's fine, because Andy can start again. Andy can start again. He's got time. Andy, restart, 57. That is actually good for a lot of points. And Imyt might take a death here. Imyt's gonna take a death here. He's dead. He's dead. That's it. That's it. Imyt's gonna start again. They both get another run. They both get another run. This is what's gonna have to make them count. So 34 points for Imyt right there, and 54 points for Andy. We're all gonna update this. Look at the count right now. 192 to 184. And this is pretty much going to be the final run for them. This is gonna be the final run for them. So Imyt, with a little bit less experience in the Spike Room of Death, unfortunately takes that death. And yeah, I think he KO'd through the platform, got stuck, tried to make it up, but the gravity got him, and that was it. So this is it. 5 seconds left. This is it. This is the last run for both players. It's 8 points apart. 8 points apart. Imyt has to go pee because Andy has baited him into drinking for this match. And apparently Andy is the professional at drunk erasing matches. So Andy with tough metagame strats right off the bat, forcing Imyt to have to use the bathroom and throwing him off his game. And look at this, we have both players in the same room. And here we go, Imyt going ahead and AFK because he has to pee. But Andy, being the absolute professional that he is, knows how to control his bladder. Maybe he's going to pee too. So we got, I ain't playing until he's back. Oh, maybe we're seeing some secret metagaming here. Maybe we're seeing Imyt's he doesn't actually have to go pee. He's actually just sitting there waiting to see if Andy's going to die, so he knows how to play the future rooms. But Andy's not falling for that trap. It's just lots of mind games going on here between both these players. All right, so look at the number that Andy has done to Imyt's bladder right now. Imyt's been in the bathroom for like 3 minutes at this point. The stream is probably still going. Absolute drinking amateur. All right, what's up, Imyt? All right, good luck to both of you. Here we go. Make this one count, both of you. Good luck. All right, so remember, we are 8 points apart. So if Andy gets to room 18 and Imyt's on room 10, we're basically at a tied even game at that point. So very often, like we said, even though Imyt had a gigantic early lead, getting to room 93, I believe, in the very beginning. Yes, room 93 on a second run, collecting 126 points. In the end, it really comes down to this final run. In this final run. And Andy, true to his name, gets the everyone knows this as the Andy seed. Gets that plasma. However, I don't think he actually has good equipment, so he's gonna have to bomb jump out here. It's gonna be a pretty slow way to get out here, but he does get the plasma, and everything in here is worth quite a bit of points. So Andy's gonna go ahead and bomb jump up. It's gonna be a little bit slow, but he's gonna do the single bomb jumps to get to the top. Just has to make sure that he doesn't get sniped by this last pirate here. And he has to get to at least room 18 to be able to tie Imyt. All right, so it is now tied, or not, it is not tied yet, but Andy gets through and has that plasma beam and now gets Big Pink. So he gets the missile and he gets the charge beam. I think Andy wants to take that left door. Imyt goes ahead and gets grapple, and This is really funny. We're getting some dangerous situations here. If Andy goes right, he might fight a boss. And if Imyt takes any room, he can get a grapple room. Imyt's got to get out of there. He's taking a hit. Andy, can Andy do this? If Batoon gives him the top left pattern, can he survive? He has to jump forward and morph. The top left pattern, no. Okay, so no spitting. Andy can clear Batoon so quickly. If he gets him under, okay, there we go. Andy gets Batoon under half HP. He's got this because Batoon, once he gets under half HP and he does a non-spit pattern, then he's only going to just die, and all you have to do is stand in the corner and charge shot. So Andy's completely fine. Imyt already at room 18. We need to see a few things here for if Andy wants to win. We need to see a few things. No, Andy gets the Fantoon. Can he do it? He's got the plasma, but he only has 2 missiles. He's only got 2 missiles. Fantoon currently hitting for 60 damage. Base 40. He's got the first multiplier. So 60 damage. That means. Oh no, off the bat! Andy, no! Takes the hit! That's it! And that's it! That is it! Andy takes that Fantoon at room 14. We call it the Andy Seed, but the Andy Seed could not save Andy from... that's why you take the left door. That's why you take the left door. So Andy, with room 14, good for 4 points, finishes at 188. And Imyt, finishing at room 19, is good for 201 points. GG. Game 1 goes to Imyt. This is it. Andy's ready. Imyt, are you ready? Imyt and Andy are both ready. Okay, so here we go. Bam. Players, go. First up is Andy. Andy heading over to the right. Let's see if these players get that CWJ. First try CWJ for Andy. Oh, Imyt, the professional speedrunner, missing the CWJs. So probably already getting his, the game is already thrown off. So Andy probably already throwing multitudes of trash talk in Imyt's ear right now, saying, I can't believe it, you're a speedrunner and you can't CWJ first try like me. And Andy gets rewarded with that speed booster. So Imyt going ahead and dodging that crowd for the room. Andy gets that early morph, but the speed booster is a very powerful first item, the best one in the beginning. So points are now going to be reset for both players. Thank you, chat, for reminding me. Bam, bam, and here we go. Andy is going to hold that charge for the next room, because if he were to get a room that's kind of bad, or a room like that where you can just spark and kill both the Keandros and head to the right, not have to worry about your poor beams. So here we go. Andy is going to spin jump to the top, head out that right door. You could go up the elevator, but that would be stupid, so he's not going to do that. So Imyt's going to grab that secret on top of that mushroom worth 750, and Andy with an incredible start right after that speed booster plus that spazer. And Imyt is going to fight Bomb Terizo. Now, when Andy fights Bomb Terizo, it's going to go a lot quicker because he's got that super and he's got that spazer. So Andy's going to use that super to go ahead and kill that metal pirate. Now, what Andy needs to do is store the spark, go to the very right corner, and spark to the right. Oh, is this going to work out? Wow, okay, good angle for Andy. Andy did not get the secret at the top. That secret is actually worth quite a bit. I would have probably liked to see that, but moves on, and that's completely fine. Gets that high jump boots. Now, the high jump boots with speed booster does make moving a lot easier. However, high jump boots also puts Batoon E-Tank hallway in logic. That's the really long hallway that's underwater. It takes a really long time to go through, so that's one of the problems with high jump boots. So I would say in some ways it's maybe not the best item to get, but the movement does become a lot easier here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get that just checking, and you see with this spazer, Andy is just absolutely melting BT way faster than Imyt was able to with his resources. So here we go. Much better start, I would say, for Andy at this moment. And we have Imyt. He's going to go ahead and bomb out these blocks so he can exit out that right side. That's X-Ray. In X-Ray, it's not available in arcade because you can absolutely bust the game open with cheating if you do that, because that's one of the glitchiest items in the game. Instead, there is a missile pack over there that Andy does not want. So Imyt is going to go ahead and collect the secret, and the main reason he's going here is not for the 2000 secret because it's a little slow. He wants the extra missiles here just in case, and Andy is going to wait for the ouch to disappear before he jumps over that way. That would end up one-shotting him at this stage of the game, so being a little extra careful here is going to take out this fish. Spazer is much better than P-Shot, but it is still a little bit weak. So he's going to go ahead and jump up to the top, and Imyt now has that charge beam as well. So here we go. Oh, will Andy fall in the pit? Will he fall in the pit? Oh, jumped through. Perfect. Gets that pit list, 2,000 points. Well played by Andy. And right off the bat, oh, bad room for Andy. Oh, killing these guys is not necessarily worth it. Andy will die in one shot if he's not careful. Morph, unmorph to get to the right. That's really well played. Now, he can kill, yeah, he can kill this guy through the wall. He cannot kill this guy through the wall. He cannot kill this guy through the wall. Oh, Andy, oh, he doesn't die. He doesn't die. He does 90 damage at room 10. So the multiplier is too low at the moment. I thought it would have killed him, but he survives. So Andy's gonna go ahead and kill these guys because he wants the health back. Had a little bit of a mini heart attack right there, and he's like, nope. I'm just gonna get my health back. I'm a little bit scared, but he gets through and he's fine. And right now it looks like he's going to be safe. Meanwhile, we have both players at room 18, and Imyt's gonna go ahead and shoot these guys out to get 500 points each, and Andy's gonna head to the right. And Andy with the wave beam. So this is like the best beam you can ask for, because the ice, it's comfy to play this without ice, because ice will just end up freezing things. Now that's why, look at this fan tune for Imyt. He resets. He just resets. He doesn't want to take the fight. Can someone clip that and see how many points he had right there so I can add it to the numbers right there? But Imyt is gonna go ahead, he's gonna bank a few points right there, decides I don't wanna fight the boss. Because for a few reasons, it makes a lot of sense. Because in the end, the boss takes a lot of time. He was at room 19? Room 19, he was at 9 points. Okay, so we're going to give 9 points to Imyt. Oh, quick drop for Andy. That's good for 10,000 points right there. So that's absolutely amazing. And let's see. Fantune was room 20. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna give Imyt 10 points if that's the case. And bam, Imyt gets that 10 points. And yeah, Andy gets that quick drop. I didn't know that he knew how to do that. But basically, if you wiggle back and forth, you press down, you wiggle back and forth left and right, you can quick drop through, and you have to do multiple quick drops. Not only that, at the bottom, the tile gaps also change. Is Imyt going to reset this room, or he's going to go through? At room 7, it's fine because the waivers actually don't hurt that much. He should just go and not worry about the waiver hit. Okay, and that's what he's going to do. So, ooh, Andy's got to watch out right there. Yeah, so basically you want to time the left and right. Kind of specifically, the main issue. Oh my gosh, Andy gets the reserve. Are we gonna see some teabagging from Andy? No, we do not see any teabagging. We have a mature individual right here by Andy, not the immature Imyt. Immature, basically. But yeah, Andy, go ahead. He's gonna be gaming out of his mind right here, and honestly, this run is looking really good for Andy. Classy Andy over here. But yeah, if you want a quick drop, you do have to wiggle, and one of the problems is that in the middle, but by the time you start seeing the missiles, the blocks actually change from doubles to singles. So basically, your timing has to change slightly when you get to that point. And as long as you can get the quick drop through kind of like the top end of those single blocks, you do get the 10,000 points. And Andy was able to do it very cleanly and nail it for 10,000 points. So gaining a ton of points, and it's looking really good for Andy right now. So Andy's got to be a little bit careful. And he's going to hold that down back. That is the correct way to do it, how Andy did. You down back there, and you will clear all of the pancakes at the, along the way to the bottom. So Andy with 4 minutes on the bank. Got a little bit nervous there. Thought he was gonna fall in the Vile Plume. Tried to do some wall jumps, but ended up not having to do that. So what Imyt wants to do right here. Oh wait, Imyt's got a good beam right now. Does he have the wave as well, or is that just space or ice? Oh yeah. So yeah, good beam for Imyt. Things are looking good for both players. I would honestly, yeah, things are looking quite good for both players. However, Andy with the reserve. That's like in arcade, especially in a match like this. It just puts. It relieves so much of the stress of you dying in one hit to almost everything in this game, because you can make one mistake and you will survive in this one, because it's very hard to just play completely perfect. But yes, Imyt with the full Fantune first, any percent beam, and Andy is going to have to get through this gauntlet. Now here's the thing. This gauntlet room, it sucks, right? Oh, that's why it sucks. That's why it sucks. Andy, you have to get out of there. Andy, get out of there. Oh my gosh. I was about to say, Andy has done this room probably quite a bit because it comes up in randomizer a lot. However, he made one mistake, and that mistake almost cost him. Andy can super this guy. If he's scared, he could super it. He's got to watch out though, because if he touches the acid for just a quarter of a second more, it's game over. It's game over. So he has to get to the right side while this dips. He's got to go. He's got to go right now. He cannot touch the acid for, oh my gosh, he survives. He wants that big health so badly. He's gonna get the big health. He's gonna go through. Imyt is gaining time at this point, but Imyt did fall behind, but Andy wants to make this run count. It's so crucial that when you have this reserve, you make it count. But okay, Andy might want to consider going down, because if he goes down here, what he can do is kill the crabs that will give him a big health each, and that gets him close to refilling his reserve. But Andy, room 40, gets plasma beam. So, oh, this is so good. This is such a good seed for Andy. He's gonna collect the health too. Will he get 2 big healths from here? Okay, Andy's just gonna go. I think he might have wanted to consider picking up an extra health here, but that's okay. He's gonna go ahead and he's gotta get this shine spark. Andy, that's dangerous. Andy, no, that's dangerous. Oh my gosh, he lives. He's got to kill the pirate. He's got to go to the right and kill the pirate. Oh my gosh, he doesn't have the reserve. He needs 1 more health to fill the reserve back up. Okay, he's gonna get it. He's gonna get it here. Oh my gosh, be careful. Andy's giving me a heart attack. He's got the reserve. He's safe. We have Imyt going on to room 27. And I can't. This is such a good run for Andy. And if he wants to make this come to a game 3, I think it's very crucial that he makes this run count, because he can make up so many points on this one. I mean, he could even PB on this run with this setup. He's got 4 minutes on the clock. Room 46, plasma. He's got a reserve. It's looking so good for him. Imyt in chat talking about Andy's luck. But here we go. Okay, so Andy's gonna go ahead and finally get that charge beam, and Imyt's gonna get that 2k points. He's gonna grab these missiles over here as well. Imyt wants a set of missiles because he's never gotten them yet, and that means that he's going to be a little bit more set up towards that Fan 2 fight when he eventually, if he does eventually fight that. So here you go. Imyt's gonna get that 750 points, and we have Andy heading all the way down to the bottom left. 34 minutes left on the clock. Andy is going to grab the health. He's going to grab that 2k secret over there. And he's going to get the missiles. No, he is just going to leave right now. So here we go. Andy is going to jump out from the bottom. Yeah, down there. You can't get out through the top left because of power bombs. And Andy is going to morph, grab that secret underneath the platform. And Imyt, ooh, almost got hit by that bug. Would have been fine, because at this point, room 33, the multiplier is not hard enough for the farm bug to kill you. But now things are looking pretty good. Imyt's got 4 missiles now, so if he fights that Fantoon, it would be slow, but I think he'd be ready for it. Now, Andy, once again, this room I would say is quite good. Let's see if he goes ahead and gets... Is he going to go ahead and kill the top pirate for the secret? He's got that beam now, so this beam is much quicker. No, he's not going to get the secret there. I think I would have liked to see him get that. That should be a net positive on the time if he got the secret and killed the pirate up there, but chooses not to. And we've got some key hunters at the top. Imyt is in a dangerous situation right here. He's got no power bombs. Runs into the Fune and takes the death right there. So that's a situation where if you get power bombs, that room is completely fine. But unfortunately, didn't work out so well for him. So room 35 is good for 25 points, and that means Imyt now is at 35 points, and Andy is at room 56, banking on the 2x multiplier. So things looking really good for Andy right now. And Imyt is gonna go ahead and he's gonna nail the CWJ. No, doesn't quite get it. And is he gonna get it this time? Gets it that time, and is going to head down to the right into the next room. Meanwhile, we have Andy with his plasma. He's gonna go ahead and try to get the cleanser in this room because obviously his beam is very powerful, and he can just start blasting all of the... Oh, gets the 750 secret right there, and Imyt immediately takes that death. That's fine, it's an early room, but it is wasting time at this point. So Imyt definitely doesn't want to waste too much time because he's falling quite a bit behind, and he almost lost his reserve by touching that crab right there, but he's completely fine. It was a little bit slow, but we are at room 58, and Andy is banking tons of time at the moment. Things are looking quite good for Andy. Imyt is going to go ahead and head back to the right, gets the CWJ for the first try. And this room is always a little bit scary, but Andy with the plasma should be able to just snipe all the crabs. What ends up happening often when you go through and ignore the crabs is you'll see a few of them loop back around and try to tag you. It's like you're playing Mario Kart or something, and they're zooming up and catching up to you, and they're faster. So always a little bit dangerous, but Andy now has that grapple beam. but still has a good amount of time left on his plasma beam. And he should be able to get through this heated room, no problem. And Imyt took some damage right there, but it looks like he killed BT as he got swiped. So even though he took some damage, he got the no damage because BT died as he got the kill. Now we're gonna see Andy head over to the right. 31 minutes left on the clock. And a bunch of pirates that he's gonna make short work of with this plasma beam. And Imyt is gonna go and run out there. He's gonna take some more damage because, yeah, through the door. And he is taking his time shooting these bugs. I don't think Imyt should be shooting these bugs. I think he might be afraid of taking a random hit and dying, but it's still early in the game. So I kind of feel like just shooting the bugs out there is kind of would take a little bit too much time. If Andy took a hit from these fire fleas, I think he would survive because the fire fleas have such low base damage that even with the multiplier, he'd probably survive. But even if he did, you know, take too much damage. Okay, now here's a situation where if the waiver touches Andy, I think his reserve's gonna pop. So we're gonna probably see Andy's reserve get popped right now. Oh, doesn't get popped. That's huge. But there's a fire flea. Survives the fire flea. Freezes the fire flea in time. But as he, no, that's bad. Now that's not good. Now Andy's gonna have to take his time. The spikes do 60. This is the last fire flea he has to worry about. And he doesn't want to make the screen too dark, but Andy's reserve is now popped. His reserve is now popped. So he's got that Various suit. That's probably fine because he's well equipped, but Andy now really wants to refill that reserve. And he's gonna go ahead and take out to the right. Imyt getting that room 9 speed booster, so good room for Imyt. Oh gosh. This is a good room for Andy because he's got a good beam, and will he? Yes, 5 HP, 1 HP in his reserve. So reserve is now filled by exactly 1 HP. And yeah, so far this is looking really good for Andy, but his plasma is going to run out pretty soon. And when that plasma runs out, it's going to start getting a little bit dicey because the plasma, he's gotten so much use out of it in these rooms. Okay, this is about as good of a setup as you can get. Andy's got good missiles. He's got good missiles. He's got 2 supers. He's got very just in time for this fight and a reserve. Fantoon is currently hitting for 90 damage, 180 with no suit, but 90 with the Various suit. So Andy should be able to do this fight. Will he get the mid? No, this is a slow pattern for Andy. Is Andy just gonna hide in the corner? Okay, so Fantoon on the first reappear can spawn in the bottom left and bottom right corners. And he is going to equip the plasma beam because he just wants to charge shot Fantoon. Watch out, Andy. If Fantoon spawns on the bottom right, it would be extremely rude, but he's completely fine. Andy just paused. If Andy pauses during this animation, he might have flipped Fantoon's. Yes, now we're in a bad situation because Andy flipped Fantoon's. Fantoon never does that way unless you pause in the middle, so you have to be careful on the timings of your pause. But okay, Andy should be fine now. Fantoon will no longer spawn. Andy, don't roll there. Oh my gosh. Andy, Andy needs to use his grapple to recover health at this point. If he gets in a spot, now the flames, it looks like he was trying to shoot it, but the flames are jank in this. The hitboxes work in a strange way, but Andy should be fine at this point. Misses the super, so a little bit slow here. But yeah, one of the problems with Fantoon is if you pause when he's about to reappear at that point, you'll get into a bad situation. But here we go, Andy. Oh, doesn't quite get that super off. So here we go. Final round for Andy. Will he be able to do this? He should be good. This is probably a mid pattern. Yes. There we go. Andy clears out Fantoon. Well played by Andy. Honestly, the Varia timing plus you saw Andy equip so Imyt misses that quick fall right there. It's kind of unfortunate, but you saw Andy equip Spazer. That's because his plasma is now out. It does count down during the boss. But Andy, the Varia timing, the reserve, you know, getting his health back, all worked out very well for him, and he gets through the fight. Room 72, now room 73. Very good for Andy. 3 minutes left on the clock. I mean, he could PB this run if he keeps it up. So yeah, looking really good for Andy right now. He He gets another plasma. He gets another plasma. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Imyt is probably so tilted right now. He probably can't believe it. Andy must be popping up. He's got to be laughing. He's got to be laughing. His plasma just ran out. This is like the best item you could get in arcade, and he gets the plasma beam. The plot armor is absolutely real. It extends past Zelda and into Super Metroid as well. Very well played. Good spark by Andy, sparking up to the top, but I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Imyt trying to get that D-boost, but unfortunately K goes through a few times. Has some trouble there. I think Imyt's tilted. If I were Imyt and that happened to my opponent and my opponent's laughing in my ear while I'm half drunk, I'd get mad. But Imyt having some trouble getting this D-boost here, but gets through, gets the power bombs as well. So oh my gosh, like this is insane. This is absolutely insane for Andy. He's a little bit afraid because of the situation he's in, but Imyt has to get through this room. Does he have that speed booster? Yes. Oh, and he gets bowling. Okay, so honestly, like kind of deserved, because this is the worst room that you can get pretty much. There is a reserve on the right side, but it requires you to have a power bomb. But this room is just a straight time loss. There's no technique to it. You just have to wait out the animation, and you're just losing like 40 seconds. So I'm sure that makes Imyt feel a little bit better, especially after Andy gets plasma back to back essentially. But yeah, things looking really good for Andy. Room 79 after getting through this room. Bowling, resident sleeper, absolutely, Andy, absolutely. We got I love it when the runners are in the chat talking about their feelings in this. All right, so Andy's gonna go ahead and down. There is a secret on that top right corner. Andy's gonna go ahead and shoot that guy for 750 points and get that super refund. But yeah, 3,000 points for that secret, so it's worth getting. And he is going to go ahead to the right. I don't know about using that last super to kill that guy. And is he gonna get another boss? No. Okay, so we saw the sound music change, so I thought maybe he was gonna get another boss there. But Andy getting through. And keep in mind, now that Andy does have the various suit, if he takes a left or right door, he absolutely can get Ridley. And Ridley is the most dangerous boss in arcade. Absolutely the most dangerous boss in arcade. Things can go very poorly if you go here. There is a cleanser in this room. Let's see if Andy chooses to get it. Gotta kill everything with the plasma. Should be able to make short work of everything. Was there a Silva on the bottom that he did not kill? No. Okay, he got everything taken care of. So he is good. That's good for 5,000 points and another 30 seconds. Andy, watch out. Okay, all right. So because plasma is so powerful, it phases through everything. But if you don't have plasma, what ends up happening is your beam starts getting eaten by all the guys on the wall. So it's kind of a deceptive room, but Andy getting a health refill, and he's gonna get his super back almost certainly. Oh, misses that. Okay. So yeah, with this plasma shot, he should be good. Yeah, and now Andy gets those 3,000 points from each pirate, and is gonna move on forward. Has the charge ready for the next room in case it's important. Is he gonna charge through? He should do it. He does it. Okay, he had to think about it. He was, you could see the gears turning in his head real time, even though you don't see his actual face right here. He had to think about it because he's like, if I spark right here, I want to spark, but if I spark, what will happen? And he's like, screw it, I'm doing it. Maybe it was the alcohol talking, but it works out perfectly. It is a good spark. Killed all the horses and made it through. Killed all the little seahorses and makes it through with the power bombs. He had to get it because he has no power bombs in queue right now. Meanwhile, Imyt has been cooking up a good run. His run obviously isn't as good as Andy's, but room 44 with no particularly crazy beam, no reserve. This is a good spot for him to be in. Now here we go. Andy now gets that secret. Now he's just gonna speed boost through these guys, and then he's gonna speed boost through the other guys at the top. I don't think these players are drunk. Oh, and Imyt gets Kraid. Now I'm sure that's tilting him a little bit, but with 12 missiles, he should be able to do this quickly. Will Imyt be able to get the 9 missile Kraid quick kill? So 1, 2, and then we got 9. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I think he missed 1. He missed exactly 1 missile, hit the bottom lip. So unfortunately, didn't quite get it, but 1 little quick charge shot should take care of it. And Imyt gets that kill. So it's in the end, the fight went quickly. The room was not that slow, so he did this completely fine. Now let's see Andy spark up this left side. And there we go. Up the shaft plus that cleanser, good for 10,000 points. Another 30 seconds gained by Andy. He's at room 90 with plasma. 2 minutes and 43 seconds on the clock. So things looking really good. Is Imyt gonna go for the spike suit? Now here's the problem. If this was an actual run and there wasn't a timer ticking down, I think he'd go for the spike suit for as long as it takes. But in this situation, he can't waste time. So he's just gonna go. Now, is Andy gonna get the pit list? Jump across. He made it across last time just fine. Gets that pit list, 2,000 points for Andy. And here we go. Imyt's gonna go ahead and shoot that guy out. Now, will Imyt do the wall cleaner strat? You can do a speed boost unmorph. No, he is just gonna go down right. It's not something I think he's ever practiced, so he's not gonna go for it. And he's gotta be careful for that. Okay, make sure that he had that guy killed. And Imyt's feeling the pressure. I think he knows he needs to cook up as many points as possible because he's actually pretty far behind right now. Obviously, nothing matters until the final run, really. You don't really know what'll happen because if you make the final run count and your opponent does not, everything can change. But I think Imyt knows that he is in a spot that's not good because Andy is currently at room 98, about to hit room 100. Only a select few have gotten to room 100 in the arcade showdown, but has to go through the gauntlet. However, he's got that ice beam, he's got power bombs if he needs it, and he's got that plasma, so he should be able to get through no problem. I was going to make the point earlier that Andy is someone that is very good at SMZ3, the Super Metroid Link to the Past combo randomizer, and this does come up. Look at that short charge to get through. Very well played. This does come up in SMZ3, so he's not unpracticed at it. Imyt is going to go ahead and lay a power bomb here. He's got to be careful. Lays the power bomb to take care of the flies right there. And Andy is going to go ahead and zoom across. Everything in Andy's screen now at room 100 is going to start going really, really fast. So he's got to be careful. He's got to be careful. Things are so dangerous for Andy. He's got that various suit, but pretty soon, worst room in the game, and his plasma is now out. His plasma is now out. The safest way for Andy to do this is kill all the pirates. Almost took a hit right there. He's gonna want to use his ammo. It takes 9 regular missiles to kill the things. And Imyt gets a reserve. Imyt gets a reserve, so he has to make this run count too. Both players with the reserve right now. Now Andy has to lay a power bomb up high enough, and he's got to weave his way through to the top and make it through. He does have the reserve tank, so if he takes an accidental hit, he'll be fine. Oh, Andy does the speedrun strat, morphs over the top of the pirate to make it through. So very well played. Andy showcasing that he does in fact speedrun Super Metroid himself, knows the speedrun strat himself, because otherwise you could just sit there, stand on top of the face guy, and just charge shot the pirate. That's the safe way to approach it. But confidently gets through room 103, gets that Kraid, and he's gonna have to take care of Kraid with charge shots because he does not have any of the resources that he used in worst room of the game. So Imyt, once again, getting through this room, he is going to go ahead and spark. That's gonna be 10k points for Imyt once he sparks up here. And Andy getting a shot blocked right there. But with this beam, it's not plasma, but the beam is very powerful, so this fight should not that lost. One more charge shot, a few more missiles, and there you go. Imyt gets through just fine. Andy gets through just fine. All right, so Andy's got to be feeling this because it's what's in. Oh, Imyt's gotta hurry. Imyt's gotta hurry. I don't think he does. He doesn't have it. Okay, Imyt's played GT Classic, so I think he knows how to do this. The GT Classic bomb jumps. His health is ticking down. He's got to get through. That was a tough room because you have to bomb jump up there unless you spark. And Imyt took his time and just did single bomb jumps to get to the top. His GT Classic playthrough probably helped for him because he knew how to do the jumping bomb jump, the timing very well. So very well played for Imyt, but he's got to refill his reserve at this point. Now here we go. We have Andy. He's gonna go ahead and don't do it, Andy. Andy, you gotta shoot a missile. Andy, you gotta shoot a missile. You have full resources. Okay, you can take a little bit of damage. That's gonna spawn a health or a super. Now he's gonna store the spark and spark across. That's okay. Now what Andy wants to do is lay a power bomb here. That'll take care of the 2 blocks on the right. And Imyt takes a death. Unfortunate death for Imyt. That's so sad but 65. He takes that death because he had to do some tricky wall jumps to get across, could not have the ice beam to get through the power bombs room, but that is good for 70 points, and that means Imyt is currently at 105 points. And even though Andy currently has 0 points, Andy is currently, if he were to die in this room right now, Andy would be at 156 points, and he is still going up. Andy at this point is probably more concerned about getting a PB because his PB right now is 127. So here we go. He's gonna go across. I think Andy, he's got 1:20 left. So let's see if Andy can do it. Oh my gosh, that charge shot. If you release a charge shot, your shot timer actually goes on cooldown. So we saw that in real time almost give him some trouble. So Imyt resetting right now. I think Imyt doesn't want the early bombs. Oh my gosh. Andy, be careful. You gotta get on that platform. You gotta get on that platform. He gets on the platform now. He's gotta take his time. If you break spin on top of the platforms, you can clip through the platforms and immediately die. And he did not want to do that. This is a tough room for Andy. The Sovas are what you gotta be careful. The pathing on the Sovas are really dangerous. They go in paths that you don't expect and they'll snipe you. So you gotta get the seahorses, but you need to watch the Sovas because they might just gank you from underneath. Andy's gotta go though. He's gotta go because he only has 44 seconds. He does not have the luxury of waiting if he wants to get this PB. Andy takes the death, dies in the room, falls down on the platform because he was moving too fast and didn't break his spin. So here we go, break his velocity. So Andy, room 112 takes the death, and that is good for 164 points. That's a really good run for Andy, and it's looking like a really good shot that he can push it to a game 3 because Imyt is currently down 59 points. Down 59 points. All right, here we go. We got the audio on Imyt. He's starting up a new match. He's got that morph. This is a tricky situation to be in with only 15 minutes left on the clock. You ideally want to get like a few runs in, but there's really just not that much time left. There's really not that much time left to consider resetting. So it's a tough spot to both to be in. I think Imyt just did a quick reset because he was hoping to get like a good seed early on. And this is looking like a good seed for Imyt. He's got that wave. He's got that speed. That beam is very powerful. But Andy right off the bat gets that spacer beam. So his seed is already looking like it's going like to be in a pretty good spot. Now look at that. Room 7 in this room could be disastrous if you have P-Shooter. We've seen the players do this with just P-Shot and we saw how long it took. But Imyt, because he has that full that spacer wave combo, he's getting through this room so fast, banking so many points, and he's gonna get that cleanser for 5,000 at the end. And look at that, getting so many points right off the bat. Really good start. And Andy starting with that spacer, it's honestly, that's a pretty good to get that beam prior to room 10 is, you can't really ask for much more than that. But Imyt's start is very, very good right now. So here we go. Andy getting that BT, standing on that pixel. He's just on the leftmost side of it. If he's almost left like one more pixel, I don't think BT will hop backwards. So good spot for Andy to sit in. And here we go. Imyt now is going to get that charge beam. So Imyt typically doesn't get this missile. However, he doesn't want to get caught into a situation where he has to fight a boss. I think he just wants to collect the missile. I mean, if he got fancied right now, he might consider resetting. But I think in general, he just doesn't want to fight Bantoon without at least 4 missiles. And this guarantees that you'll have at least 4 missiles. And he took a dip in the acid. You got to be a little bit careful here. Yeah, the acids early game will hurt you so much. So got to be careful. We saw Andy with the reserve in a previous life. He actually got grabbed by the yapping mod. You saw how fast his health dipped. This is the same kind of acid, so you got to be careful. Imyt grabbing that E-Tank. Early game E-Tank is very useful because there are a lot of things that might hit you for like 80 damage or so. So that extra E-Tank helps. And Imyt, he's thinking about it. He's got room 13. He's got the Varia. Look at that. He's hopping back and forth going, look at this. Room 13 Varia. Look how unfortunate I am. And he does that a little bit, letting the viewers know that he's unhappy about the current results and goes on and moves forward. But Andy, he needs to, does he not have Morph? Andy might not have Morph. Yeah, because Andy has Power Bomb selected. And oh, good though. Imyt gets the screw attack. So that puts him in a good spot, honestly. But yeah, Andy without the Morph is going to have some trouble getting through some of these rooms until he can get that morph and utilize those power bombs as soon as possible. But here we go. Andy is going to go and get this blinding bonus worth 2,000. And Imyt is going to go head over to the right. You know what? These are some good rooms for Imyt. So far, even though he's got Varia suit, the rooms I would say have been quite good. That's 10,000 points right there. It's an arcade specialty. You can't bomb that on vanilla, but know that in arcade you need to get that 10k secret. It's worth 40 seconds at this stage of the game. All right, Imyt is running to the right. And so far, with this screw attack, he should be able to handle any of the difficult rooms that he gets. Now, obviously, there are some exceptions. This is a good room. He's going to go up there. This is worth quite a bit of points. 5,000 points for that secret for Imyt. And Andy is choosing to get the optional missiles. There's a 2,000 point secret down here where Andy is. You don't have to get the points here. You can actually just leave. Imyt paused just to make sure he can call out somebody. Oh, and Andy takes a death. That's what happens when you complain. You complain and your opponent dies. That is the secret death. So Andy gets 14 points for that run, and it means he is good for 178 points as of right now. Now, if there's a time to take a death, it probably is at that early stage. It's probably completely fine. But yeah, Imyt complains and he gets rewarded. That's the trick. That's the trick. Now, Imyt's got to be a little bit careful, because if you're wall jumping, you can actually take a hit during your wall jump check frames. So got to be a little bit careful here. But makes it up there just fine. And it looks like he came from the top, so he can't go back out from the top. So Andy, right off the bat, getting room 4 speed booster. That's always really good. And Imyt is going ahead and he's trying to screw attack these guys, but it looks like they're just avoiding him. So very well played by the key hunters. But Imyt goes ahead and cleans them right up. So, oh, looks like another good seed for Andy. Speed booster plus that spazer. And here we go. Imyt with a decent spot. This is not what he wants to see. Now, once again, bosses are always going to be good, but what this also means is that his screw attack, which is on quite a short timer, shorter timer than the other beams or the other bonuses, it's timing down right now, and he really wants to make sure he has a screw attack for the fight. Now, Imyt shot missiles into Spore Spawn right there. He actually needs to use the charge attack here. The charge attack shots do double damage on Spore Spawn. So yeah, you can see how much health just got wiped out from Spore Spawn. One more charge shot might do it for him. He'll be able to take care of it, but yeah. Andy goes ahead, unequips that oh, Imyt, is he gonna get clipped? No, he's good. One more shard shot takes care of it, and there we go. Imyt takes care of that Spore Spawn. And he should just leave. He can actually just leave right now. He doesn't have to wait for the death animation. You do that if you need the drops, but he had no drops to get at that point. Screw that, he's gotta jump through. Run, run! Okay, he's fine. He's completely fine, makes it through. He took the extra hit. That room is horrible because it's really hard to not get hit right there, and you cannot kill those guys. Only way to kill them is with 6 super missiles, which he does not have, and you rarely ever get in arcade. Oh, that's not good. This is a really bad situation for Imyt to be in. Imyt didn't know what to do there. That was the wrong pirate. So Imyt takes that death. He was probably over that run anyway, but dies at room 29, and that means he's good for 19 points. That means Imyt now has 124 points to Andy's 178. Andy currently actually at 181 technically, because he's got to get at least 3 points from the current run that he's on. So let's get that audio over to Andy's current run. He is flying up that green hill zone from the bottom, got the secret that nobody ever gets that's above the gate on the right side, and he is going to go ahead and get this smooth bonus. We're going to see this little wall jump off the pipe. Gets that smooth, good for 2,000 points, and he's going to take the left door. All right, so Amy's gonna head over to the right, and Andy gets that E-Tank. So Andy's seed looking pretty good. Ooh, and gets that wave beam. So full 80% Vantude first beam. PRKD meme, we got that spazer, we got that wave, we got that ice beam, and Andy is decked out at this point. So right now, he's even got the super missiles. Andy probably wants to get, try to collect some supers here and there right now, but Andy's in a very good spot. I don't know, remember if he has that speed booster. That's probably the most important thing that you can have in arcade, but based on how fast he's going, it looks like that might be the case. Okay, so Imyt now getting that speed booster, very good item in arcade, but does not currently have any beams. All right, so going down that bottom door. Andy is going to go out the left. Andy now with the high jump boots. So Imyt does have the speed booster. He's gonna have to kill this pirate. He's got to crouch, and it's gonna take a lot of shots to kill this pirate, but he does have the speed booster, so he can speed booster past the rest of them. So he's gonna want to do a short charge here because it's the fastest way to kill this pirate. Because you don't want to use your beam, but unfortunately his short charge looks like it's breaking right now. He decides, you know what, I'm not gonna waste my time. My short charge isn't looking too hot right now. Let's just go. I don't want to waste time getting the secret. So he's gonna speed boost through the rest of these pirates, and then he is going to go through this next room, and Andy makes short work of that BT. His beam shots, each of the shots doing 100 damage. So just 8 quick shots to the chest to take out that BT. Now it's Imyt's turn to do BT. However, Imyt has just the pea shooter. So that's going to be 40 shots to take care of BT. It is not the quickest thing ever. All right, so Andy going to grab that secret in the little pond in the middle. And we have Andy heading over to the left. So Imyt has to make these runs count. Imyt does not have much more time at this point to bank more points. We are timing now with 6 minutes left for both runners. Andy is laying a powerbomb in that corner so that he can take care of that one block, but also wants to save the final powerbomb for the last segment. Now, you can use powerbombs here. However, if you use powerbombs here, you can only at most break 2 blocks worth of columns, because that one powerbomb in the corner would not break this final set of blocks that Andy's about to blow up. So what you really want to do is the most dangerous part of Gauntlet is this final section right here. So you want to use the powerbomb here to take care of the 4 blocks right here, and that you don't have to do you don't have to do a crazy balancing act where you're surviving. Is Imyt just going to reset this? Will Imyt just reset this room? He just resets the room. I believe that was room 18. I'm going to wait for chat to confirm that was room 18 for the reset. But that room takes quite a long time, and sometimes you spend all the time shooting those guys down to death only to get killed in the end. So Imyt said, I don't want to take care of that room. I need to make one big run count, and I don't want that run to be it. So Dia resets at room 18, giving him 8 points, and Andy gets that charge beam. Imyt now 132 points to Andy's 178. 178 plus 20. Imyt resetting another one. This is a best of 3, and Andy is currently in a very commanding lead right now with a very, very strong run at the very start. 112 rooms to give him 164 points right off the bat. So Andy is currently on his 3rd run that's going to give him points right now, whereas Imyt is currently on his 6th run that's going to give him points. Andy is going to lay that powerbomb right there, get the cleanser 5,000 point bonus. And Imyt is going to get that room 2 speed booster. All right into Kraid. So Andy, he can actually get a quick kill here. If he does 2 charge shots into 6 missiles. So 1 charge shot to freeze Kraid's mouth, and then a charge shot to lock his mouth down, and then 6 missiles. That's how you can get the quick kill, but it's quite difficult. So Andy is not going to do that. It's not something he's probably practiced before. So he's going to go ahead and wait and then just finish Kraid off with quick kills, with charge shots. And this beam is very strong, doing 300 damage. So that one should do it, and that's it. That's a fast Kraid fight. Kraid, obviously, the one boss that you're fine getting. It's a quick fight so long as you have decent resources and some beams to take care of it. Andy's gonna store the spark and get ready, because if he has a bad room, he can go in and spark past it. So very astute for Andy. Honestly, it's not that bad at this point. You can get some bad rooms, but I would say Andy is fairly well equipped to take care of any rooms that give him trouble, because he's got power bombs for some of the really bad rooms, and he's got the best beam he can get that's not plasma. So he's got even more power bombs. A lot of the rooms that are really, really bad with Varia, if you throw enough power bombs at it, you can overcome the situation. So we're in a decent, Andy's definitely in a good spot, and he's gonna want to make this run count. Well, one thing I will say is both of these runners, neither of them have a reserve. They both got reserves in the previous round, but this one they do not. Imyt goes ahead and gets that morph. He does not have a beam, so he's going to want to take those right doors. Wants to take those right doors, and if Imyt was going to do any sort of tactical resetting, which is difficult to consider when he has speed booster, he is going to be running out of time to do that soon. He's only got 2 minutes and 40 seconds left for both runners. Imyt is going to do a morph, unmorph to get to that right ledge and dodge these things. He's going to have to dodge this guy too. He does not want to spend time killing it. And very well played by Imyt, getting through quickly without taking damage. I don't know how much he's actually had to do that before, so I think he improvised that on the fly, is rewarded with an E-Tank, and gets the secret and gets out. Now, remember, Imyt is at an uphill battle here because he's gonna have to make this run count, and he does not have any beams yet. So if Imyt wants to feel comfortable at being like, okay, I can make this run count and win with this one. Oh, and he almost got hit by that orb. Then he's got to get a beam. He's got to get a beam like now, as soon as possible. Otherwise, he's going to be uncomfortable for a lot of this run. I mean, it's not just being uncomfortable, but you get a situation like this. I think he just needs to deboost through. He just needs to deboost. Yeah, he just got to run through, because right now these pirates, the base damage is actually very low. Even though they're the last things you fight in the game, Imyt did not correctly do the spark. He did a spin jump. He has to be doing a standing jump from the right door, but he did a spin jump. He needs to land and then press jump. That's not what he did. That's why the final pirate over there did not die, and he's just going. He's going forward. Now, this is a tough room. We saw Andy do this before. However, Andy now has a better beam, so as long as he shoots this guy like 16 times, he should be fine. It's a little bit slow, but he can do it with charge shots as well. So here we go. Andy's gonna go ahead and shoot this guy. Last time he only had that wave beam, and it was a lot slower. Either way, this does kind of suck, but at least he gets 2,000 points for his weight right there. And Imyt gets that ice beam. That's not the beam he wanted. He really wants to get wave or Spazier to make this run count. Both players about to get a high five. Oh, Imyt dodging the high five, but Andy's chasing him. Nope, Imyt successfully dodges the high five from Andy, and gets away. And Andy is gonna go ahead and grab these missiles. Okay, so he wants a little bit extra ammunition. That's completely fine. And he's gonna use. Normally, you probably wouldn't use a power bomb there, but he's got so many that he can just kind of use them freely if he can. So making good use of his resources. And Andy gets Dragon. Don't take the hit. Immediately takes the resets. Andy just resets. He doesn't want to do it. I am a little surprised because Andy for sure has to be. Oh, it's because he's got 15 seconds left on the clock. So Andy's getting his last one in. So that makes a lot more sense now. I think Andy would have tried it for sure under different circumstances, but he wants one more run to go. So very, very smart from Andy. How many points did he get from that run? Can someone throw that in for me? Andy, even with the strong lead, pulling out all the stops. He's trying hard. We're getting a try hard here. So Dre was on room 50. That means Andy made it to room 50 for that run, and that's good for 40 points. Andy currently at 218 points. 218 points, and Imyt's gonna have to make this one count. Imyt's gonna have to make this one really count because he needs a lot of points to make it past. If Imyt wants to tie Andy, assuming Andy dies right now, then that means Imyt needs to get to at least room 73. Needs to get to at least room 73. Right now, 132 to 218. So if Imyt does not make it to room 73, then no matter what, even if Andy just says, I don't want this run to count anymore, Imyt will not beat Andy, and Andy will win game 2, and we're going to a game 3. So we have Andy going ahead and shooting the seahorses, and we're going to actually get our sound on Imyt, because right now Imyt is the one that we need to watch, because the onus is on him to succeed. He needs the game. He needs the game. Grabs a secret. He's YOLOing. He doesn't even care. He's making a mockery of Arcade Showdown, saying, you know what? I'm going to YOLO and it's going to work. And it does. He gets the 500 points, makes it through. Takes a little bit of time, but, you know, he does it. And Imyt, there's a global crab. Global crab, stay on the left side. Oh my gosh, watch out. Now the other crabs, you just gotta go. The other crabs, yes, you just weave down and you'll be fine. If you clip something on the way down, then the left crab might get you. But it's that one crab on the right that will always kind of scam you depending on, the pathing for him will change. And Imyt now at room 36 gets the charge beam. Imyt gets the moonfall. Had the jank physics there. I think it feels a little bit tougher when you see that visually, so very well played by Imyt. And let's see, can Andy do it? Can Andy get the quick fall again? Let's see it. Was it a fluke? Oh, wait, he got it! How did that count? Andy got it, but he clearly understands how to do it because the timing, you could see the way that he timed, it looked like a dance. He clearly understands the timing on how to do it. I don't know when he would have learned that, but it's sick, and he knows how to do it clearly. Botched it a little bit towards the end, but it looks like he got past the marker that kind of considers if you got the quick fall or not. Meanwhile, Imyt really focusing up. He's got Gauntlet, not a good room because he hasn't banked up an incredible amount of time. And does he have that speed booster? Because if he has that speed booster, he could consider, yeah, it looks like he's creating a runway. He's creating a runway so that he could spark across and having some trouble shooting this down. And here we go. He is going to spark across right here. He's going to wait for the acid to drop. And that should be a good spark to get across. Yes, he breaks all the pillars. Now, this is a really bad room because he's got to go on this cycle. He's got to bomb this and run back out. And then he has to make the best advantage that he can. He has to do it on this cycle. And he can't stumble. If he gets stuck, he's going to be in trouble. No, he doesn't make it. He doesn't stumble, makes it through, gets the secret. And that is well played by Imyt to make it through. Okay, another tough room. Now, this room is going to be fine as long as he doesn't take... If he gets the damageless, then it's okay. If he doesn't take the damage, this is a pretty hefty time loss. And Imyt is going to go ahead. He's going to make sure and shoot everything. We are at the point where we are past the marker. Because what I mean by that is we're past the 45-minute point. So what that means is killing these pirates, if they were like time neutral, in the end, because you know you get scores. So if you get scores, so the score is sort of worth in some ways game time. But when the timer is ticking down, if it's close to time neutral, you just want to go. You don't want to waste your time doing this because you're losing like real time, right? But Imyt now knows he can kind of take his time to collect points because this is the last run. There's no timer, there's no real-time timer ticking down. And he knows he needs to get to at least 73. Well, we said 73 earlier, but Andy is racking up points. So every room that Andy racks up at this point is going to make things significantly harder. So the pressure, Andy is keeping the pressure on Imyt. Because Imyt has to know that, okay, well, the number was 73 at first, but now I just have to keep going because Andy, who knows how many points he's going to get, right? There's going to be some thinking that both these players have to do when one of them ends up dying. And Andy gets the Shack Tool room. Scrap Tool, 3,000 points, 5,000. If you had a super and you shoot Shack Tool immediately upon entering, you get a double kill on Shack Tool, getting you 3,000 plus 3,000 plus the 5,000. But Andy did not have the super, so could not do that exploit. Meanwhile, Imyt is now at room 50. And Andy has to watch out, gotta be careful, and Andy is gonna have to do some bomb jumps. Now, Andy is looking to the left, so if he taps right, he's not gonna make it to the door. He's gotta hold right for a few frames, and he does and makes it through. Well played by Andy. And Imyt is heading down. Now, we talked about down doors and up doors before. They're good in regular RTA, when you're trying to get a high room count. But when you have a timer ticking down, it's bad. However, once again, we no longer have that timer going. So if Imyt were to get Croc there, he'd actually be happy. He'd be in a good spot because he's just gaining time on his timer. Here we go. We have Imyt. He's just going to go exit out the right side. Mama Turtle for Andy. He says no to that E-Tank. And Andy cooking up a really good run himself. What Andy actually needs Imyt to die. And Imyt made kind of a mistake there. He needed to mock ball there, but I think he kind of got confused for a second and forgot something. Decides, I don't want that super. I need to conserve my time. So here we go. We have Imyt continuing on. Will he get the pitless? Misses the pitless. So doesn't get the 2,000 points. And that's kind of important right now because he needs to bank up as much time as he can right now. All right, to the right, Andy is going to make his way up here. He's going to go for the cleanser. I think the cleanser is quite slow if you come from the bottom, so I think it's better to maybe just leave. Andy almost maybe took a death right there. Now, there's one more cack that he has to take care of. And Imyt gets Fantoon. Imyt gets Fantoon. Fantoon currently is going to be hitting him for 140 damage. That means Imyt can take 2 hits. The third would kill him, so 3 hits total because Imyt has 300 HP. Imyt can absolutely do this. 10 missiles, 1 super is no stranger to this. Will he get the mid pattern? Gets the mid. He's gonna let Fantoon probably go off screen, yes. And then we're gonna see a big Doppler into a super. Very well played. That's about as optimal as it gets. Now, the reason Imyt shoots that super, we don't care about real time. Take as long as you want, as long as you can get through the room. There's no timer ticking down right here. So very well played. That was as perfect as it gets for Imyt. Now, we just have to watch out. Is Imyt going to get an unfavorable Fantoon pattern? That's a slow. So this can get really sketchy for Imyt if he's not careful. Yep. This flame pattern, there's gonna be flames dropping on his head. There's gonna be a flame dropping on his head, but he's fine, he's fine. Ooh, I don't think he wanted Fantoon to disappear there. Once again, Fantoon hitting for 140. Ooh, doesn't want to take the hit. As long as he doesn't take 1 hit here, he's probably okay. Good angle shot. Oh, Imyt! Oh my... He missed the super. He missed the super, but because it's a 3-round and his Doppler was so good on the first round, it was only 200 HP left on Fantoon. He had 2 missiles, 1 super. If one of those 2 missiles didn't connect, Imyt was dead. Imyt was almost certainly gonna die there. But he misses the super, but he lands the 2 missiles, gets through the fight, and he lives to see another day. So, very well played by Imyt. Andy, looks like Andy laid a powerbomb there, wanted to get through the room a little bit quicker. So, Imyt currently playing quite well. However, Andy is cooking up so many points. Andy is not making this easy for Imyt. And Imyt really actually just does not have that much time. Only 2 minutes on the clock. It's a tough situation because Imyt wants to be careful because he doesn't want to die. But he actually, because Andy's stretching the lead, he can't go slow because then Imyt might run out of time before he can actually get to those numbers. So it's a tough situation to be in, but at the same time, we're getting to the high multiplier, damage multiplier. So it's just not a good spot to be in for Imyt, but he's trying his best. He's gonna make it through that left door. And will Imyt just fall down here? Yes, okay, he's gonna go straight down, try to see if he can get that croc, and Andy gets another gauntlet. So Andy gets another gauntlet. However, his time looks pretty good right now, so honestly getting through this gauntlet is probably gonna be fine for him. And Imyt is heading to the right, and Imyt now gets the Various suit, and his beam is kind of incomplete. That could be good. So, Mother Brain, how it works, Imyt had 2 full E-tanks. This is really crazy, but Imyt had 2 full E-tanks, right? 3 full E-tanks. You now see he has 1 full E-tank. And what ended up happening is when you get Mother Brain, how this works is if you don't have enough ammo to complete Mother Brain, and what ends up happening is the game will take away your E-tanks and give you missiles in return to complete Mother Brain. It will only give you the minimum. That's why he's not Zeb skipping, because if he Zeb skipped, he'd soft lock on what if you were to unlock. Ooh, Andy's gotta be careful. Oh, there's so many things we gotta watch here. Andy doesn't have a power bomb, so can he do this room? There's so many things to watch out for. Imyt has to get through the Mother Brain fight, but Andy has to get through this room without power bombs. It looks like he's got this under control. Okay, so Andy's good. He can just leave now. And Imyt is taking damage. Imyt's taking damage. He's gotta leave. He's gotta leave. Oof. Okay, so one of the reasons why this room is really good is if you do the entire thing damageless. And when I say damageless, you can take damage when you're breaking the glass, when you're breaking the Zebs, as long as you re-enter the room and go all the way from the beginning to the end, killing Mother Brain. If you do it damageless, you do the second fight damageless, you will get a total of 21,000 points. And that means Imyt would gain 60 seconds on the clock. And that's one of the problems that Imyt has right now. Even though Imyt can get to room 73. 73 is no longer the breakpoint. Andy is cooking up so much time. Imyt needs time. Imyt needs time to cook up a run that's in the hundreds. And so, if Imyt can do this, this is gonna give him a full minute. A full minute. Now, Imyt's gonna go back, and he is going... Oh, takes a hit right there. Gotta watch out. The space jump is actually a little bit helpful. Here we go. Andy goes ahead and grabs some points. You're gonna see Imyt refill once again. This is the second showdown we've had where a mother brain victory is actually crucial to deciding a game. We saw it last time with Nevny and Cutie. Cutie had to finish out that mother brain to finish the match, and Imyt is in this situation as well. He has to finish out this mother brain fight. So Imyt is not done. He cannot kill mother brain here. He needs to break the glass completely. Takes 19 missiles, I believe, to break the glass. And he does not have enough. No, Imyt, you don't have enough. You gotta leave. Yeah, he's gotta leave. If Imyt unloaded all that, the game gives you the absolute minimum. Can he do it? Oh, he's getting hit. He's getting hit. He's gotta be careful. Okay, now, this is it. This is the final hurrah. But Andy already at room 62. He's putting so much of a gap between Imyt that Imyt is going to have to really pop off on this run. All right, here we go. Imyt's got to get to the end. He's got to do this damage. If he takes a hit, he's gonna... I think he needs to reset if he takes a hit here. All right. Now this should be good. Land the super, and that's it. Now Imyt, with his beam, needs to take care of this mother brain fight. Does he have the full PRKD beam? Or is that just wave? That might just be wave. It's 100 shots to take care of this fight because he does not have that spacer beam. If he takes a hit from a blue onion ring, he may be able to survive, but anything else is likely to kill him at this point. And if Imyt dies on this fight, it is over. It is over. Nice morph on morph. Wow, good reaction from Andy to get through that room and survive from the hopper. Andy about to pass up Imyt on this run. But it's not over, because if Imyt has the run of his life, he can do this. Oh, Imyt takes the hit on the onion ring, and that's it. That is it. Bad combo. A bad combo, and Imyt takes the death. It would have been an uphill battle, but that was the start of it. That would have been the start. So 67 rooms, that is good for 74 points. And Imyt loses game 2. Andy wins game 2. And Imyt is at 206 points to Andy's 218 plus whatever points that he's going to get right there. So very well played by Andy, swinging hard on the first run, scoring 164 points. Is that might be that's definitely one of the best that we've ever gotten in an arcade showdown. Absolutely amazing. Nice ending. All right, so Andy, we'll say officially he's got that 69 room. So 78 points for Andy right there. And that means final score is 206 to 296. So wow, a 90-point differential for game 2. All right, Imyt and Andy, you both ready? Looks like Andy is ready as well. All right, good luck, have fun. Here we go. And we are off. All right, we are on game 3 on the arcade showdown between Imyt and Andy. We saw Imyt take a convincing win on game 1, but Andy coming out guns a-blazing, popping off with one of the highest performances we've ever seen game 2 with a 90-point lead between Imyt and Andy. Imyt going for immediate reset. And Andy is going to start off on this room and get speed booster room 3. Imyt's got to make sure that his capture is working fine, and he does. Andy, even though he gets the speed booster at the start, this room is actually quite difficult with only 66 HP. Touches anything, he's definitely dead. Almost touched that fish. That fish can get you when you're on the edge of the platform. Imyt with the room 2 reset, yep. And here we go. Andy's gonna head over to the right. And Imyt gets that morph. And Imyt, is Andy going to go ahead and grab this missile? Yes, he is going to grab the missile pack. And Imyt is going to grab that morph ball. All right, so here we go. Andy heading down to the left. So far, no. Ooh, Andy's got to be a little bit careful here. 2 missiles to clear that clap very well, very quick and very well played by Andy. So Andy, I would say, has the lead in terms of having a little bit delayed on that morph and bombs. And what that means, you know, when the timer's ticking, it's probably good to delay because you don't want to get early bosses. But here we go. We got the morph for Andy, but Andy also has the speed booster. So Andy's not going to be able to get the just checking bonus by laying a bomb at the left side because he does not have any bombs yet. So more than likely, when he goes through the store, bomb chorizo tends to be the most common thing. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it, and he chose not to do it. That's probably the wise decision, but this is a slow room for Andy. If Andy wants to get through this room, he's going to want to use missiles. Very well played, yes, because the P-shots just take too long. So yes, you can P-shot some stuff, but if you can get the missile kills off, which he could not right there, unfortunate. But if you can get the missile kills off, they are going to be much faster. And he's not in a good spot right now, though. Ooh. If he takes a hit here, he might be dead. The worm's going to jump up now. He's going to have to hop backwards, and he has some extra missiles now. Okay, gets the shot off, and Imyt only has 4 HP. So here we go, 2 missiles, and he's going to have to whiff that one right there. And it gets the missile refill, kills that worm, and nails that one. Oh, it's always a little bit tight. Has to do a crouching jump right there to get up to the top. And a nice shot for Andy. You need that forward velocity or else you wouldn't be able to hit him. That was another shot, so Andy really kind of feeling himself now. Okay, makes that, and then final missile right there, gets the cleanser, 5,000 points, makes it through, and there we go, Andy gets through that room. Meanwhile, we have Imyt, room 12 now. So as you can see, like Imyt, even with the resets, because of how slow Andy had to take that room, Imyt now has that spacer beam, and he's got 2 missiles and a super. So Imyt definitely in the better spot right now. Though, if Andy starts getting some speed boost rooms, that can change things. So we'll see how that turns out, because right now Imyt does not have that speed booster, and that is probably the best item in the arcade in general. All right, so here we go. Imyt's going to go ahead and just kill this pirate, and he's going to head up to the top. He wants to make sure he finishes off this damage list. Oh, being a little bit careful there, and Imyt's going to want to jump over these next 2 pirates. Oh, okay, he's gonna kill him, use the missiles to get a little bit of ammunition, and I guess he just feels like, I might as well just kill the rest of them, but it is a little bit slow, so it's fine either way. But there is real time ticking down right now. There's only 40 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock. So here we go, and he now gets that bomb, chorizo. Now does not currently have a beam, so he's searching for that beam right now. So this is one of those rooms that if Imyt actually had a speed booster, he'd be able to get 5,000 points for the speed booster for doing a spark up in this room, but does not have it, so cannot do that. All right, we have Andy using some missiles. The missiles do 100 damage, whereas the P-shot does 20. So wise to speed up the fight a little bit by shooting some missiles right there. And we have Andy with that early charge beam. So this is not looking too hot for Andy, even though he has that speed booster, because he's not very well equipped. He's got 4 missiles. He could fight Fantoon right now. He probably end up resetting that. But he's got 4 missiles. He has no beams, no power bombs. So he's not in a good spot right now. There you go. That's the Fantoon. Is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? It might be worth a reset. It might be worth a reset because right now Fantoon is hitting for 80 damage. If you get bad patterns, that's an immediate hit. Andy shot a little bit too late on the Doppler. Andy is 1 shot away from dying right now. He's 1 shot away from dying. Okay, now he's fine. He's got the health back. Remember, Fantoon hitting for 80. And you see Andy shoots 3 missiles. That's why when he had 2 before, it was so difficult. But when you have 3 missiles, you can shoot 3. The third, as long as you shoot them very quickly in succession, the third will make him go away. Oh, very well played. So 2 didn't make him disappear, 2 didn't make him disappear, and then 1 to make him disappear. Because you can only do that twice before Fantoon decides, all right, I'm gonna go off screen. So very well played. And Imyt also gets Fantoon. Oh, and he broke spin. He unleashed the charge shot, but right when he was in a hitbox, a hurt box essentially, and took damage right here. So, ooh, Andy wants to take his time. So he's safe right now. He's safe right now as long as he stays in this corner. He might want to recover a little bit of health. I think because Andy knows that Imyt has to fight him too, it might make him feel a little better knowing that they're both equally losing time. But yeah, they're both choosing to fight this Fantoon, and Andy's got to be careful. He's got to be careful. Andy has to dodge Fantoon. He's got to jump and dodge. Okay, oh my gosh. Andy, oh, he's in a bad situation. Andy is in his, okay, this path is, he needs a little bit of health, and he needs some missiles. Oh, Fantoon drops the flame on Andy, and Andy takes the death. Room 21, and that's good for 11 points. So very well played. Sorry, not very well played. I mean, I'd say it was very well played, but unfortunately, that flame pattern was going to spawn on him, and he needed to identify that, but couldn't really react in time, and then got into a bad situation. But Imyt is also not in the best situation, but I think he's going to be able to do it because he's got 2 hits left. And he messed up the pseudo, so now he's got 1 hit left. And he does not, this is kind of his opportunity to gain a solid lead. Because, oh, he's got this, he's got this. Okay, so that fast really helped him there because otherwise, really jank patterns would have put him in a pretty dangerous spot. But what can happen now is Imyt is not going to be getting Fantoon for at least 32 rooms. I believe that's how the logic works. I think it's 32 rooms. So he's safe from doing this for a while. And his reward is also kind of keeping all the stuff that he has right now. Oh my gosh, Imyt almost took a hit. Okay, as long as you get through this room, this is actually quite a good room because 1,000 points for each of these hoppers. And you get a set of power bombs, and power bombs are just so powerful in arcade. So Imyt's probably just gonna deboost out of here, and he's got that Spazer beam. Now what he really wants at this point, obviously he wants the other beams, but he also needs that speed booster. That speed booster is how you really generate a lot of points. Another boss for Imyt, but at least he has a Spazer. If he didn't have Spazer, he might just reset here. But the Spazer does make this a little bit faster, but it's just so slow, and I cannot imagine he's happy about this. Now, Imyt does know how to take care of this pattern. The top left pattern is the most dangerous. Otherwise, all you have to do is just morph when you're getting shot at, right? So here we go. Let's see if Imyt gets the top left pattern. That is the top middle pattern. He's fine. But once Batoon gets to half HP and he does not spit on a pattern, then you're good. The top left pattern. I can't believe he survived there. He was kind of messing around. He was jumping and it looked like he wouldn't have enough time. I'm sure he freaked out. I think he kind of messed up in that situation too, but because he was in midair, he wasn't in the spot in the corner. But in the end, he survives both, and he is going to be able to survive now because now Batoon, below half HP and no longer spitting, is going to just keep doing non-spit patterns. So he's completely safe now. This left corner is completely safe. Meanwhile, we have Andy already kind of picking up some time already at room 14. So even though Andy took that kind of slow death, Imyt got Batoon. So in the end, like, it's sort of evening out here. It would essentially be 16 points versus 17 points. So Andy's technically a little bit ahead at the moment. Oh, Imyt took a little bit of a fall there. I'm sure he's not happy about that one. Imyt kind of salty killing that guy right there. Probably not worth it at that point, but gotta take care of him. You can't let that pancake get away from you. All right, so Andy collecting that power bomb. If you do have power bombs in store, then you're completely you could just leave the room, but he had no power bombs, so had to go ahead and collect those. Okay, so Imyt finally gets that speed booster, so now he's in a pretty decent spot. Oh, he's got to be careful. Yeah, got to be a little bit careful. He's gonna start deboosting to the right. And all right, he's safe. he's safe. The spikes and environmental damage in general do not increase. So if you step in acid, you step in lava, you step on the spikes or something like that, they will do the same damage no matter what. There's no scaling on them. So it's funny because come late game, that was dangerous by Andy because sometimes that super can clip through. Imyt needs to, okay, Imyt was panicking a little bit there. Luckily, there seems to be some sort of bug in arcade, and those little virus things actually, they're called bowls, but they actually don't do much damage to you. I don't know why. I think it's a glitch in arcade, but you would normally think they would kill you because they kind of hurt a lot in the base game. But fine, Imyt gets another boss. I'm sure he's a little unhappy about this. It does kind of suck, but at least he's got Spazer, and it's not the absolute worst. Let's be real, it is kind of bad because, yeah, if you have enough stuff for a quick kill or close enough to a quick kill, then this fight goes so much faster. But yeah, Imyt's gonna want to shoot this claw that's coming up to him because that's gonna give him, ooh, his shot went right through. That's gonna give him a missile, and that's gonna speed up this fight a little bit if he collects it. But Imyt also wants to make sure that he gets the damage list. So he's gotta be a little bit careful. There's a spike coming for him. Oh, watch out for the claw. Okay, Imyt doing some gymnastics right here. Oh, that claw almost got him. And one more missile, and there we go, no damage. Good for that 2,000 points. Andy's gonna go ahead and collect this E-Tank. You don't have to collect this E-Tank, you could back out. But, I mean, we could see right here that Andy is already pretty much past Imyt on points. Now, in the end, it doesn't really matter that much because if they can get to the 2x multiplier, which is room 50, then things are obviously going to start changing. So, Imyt does have the speed booster, so we're going to see a short charge. It's a very tight short charge. You're going to want to do a stutter 3 at least. Oh, it looks like his short charge is breaking a little bit here. He had to double check to make sure he had speed booster. He wasn't sure about it, but it looks like his short charge, he's laying a power bomb here, but those are not power bomb blocks. I don't think he realized that. The blocks on the right are power bomb blocks. Oh, I think he's stubborn though. He doesn't really want to do this. He's got to lay the power bombs on the right side if he wants to break this. His short charge is not looking good. Okay, so here we go. He's gonna lay the power bombs on the right. No, I think he just kind of had a little bit of brain fart and thought that the power bomb. I think he thought he could break them with power. He just had a little bit of brain fart. I've done stuff like that too. But then, as you can see, he laid the power bombs to the right to give himself the runway. Normally, if he's stubborn, I think he would keep doing it, but I think he understands, like, I can't be wasting my time. He gets another boss. He gets another boss. Spore Spawn. He's unhappy. He's not happy about what's going on right now because the bosses just take so long to do. Okay, but realistically, if he can do this fight quickly, he took a hit. It's not that slow because he's got the super. It looks like he missed. Okay, he's unhappy about that one. Which room did he lose at? I think he should have continued that run. However, he just reset because I think he's a little bit tilted. But what room did he get? What room did he get right there? Imyt is on to the next seed, and it looks like Andy took. Wait, did Andy take a death as well? What just happened? What just happened? What were they on? Someone let me know. Andy died to a snail and Aqua died. I completely missed that. All right, we got it on Andy. So Imyt, room 35. And Andy, room 33. So as of right now, we are 25 to 34. Andy currently in the lead. Now, keep in mind, in the end, there's only a 9-point difference between both of these players. It's really not that big of a difference. What matters is how they finish here. We've seen it before. I mean, we saw in the final one, Andy was ahead by 90 points. So what matters what matters is kind of how they finish. All right, so Andy going ahead and wiping all of these bugs off the face of the earth. Killing the plants, exterminating the things in a green Bryn. We have Andy's gonna go ahead and grab this little secret under the platform, 750. And Andy has to dodge these crabs. The crabs will one-shot him, even though there is no damage multipliers. They still hit a lot. That's why they're so dangerous, and they always kind of kill you because their base damage is incredibly high. All right, so Imyt grabs that E-Tank, grabs 2 missiles. So honestly, pretty decent start for him. But once again, what we need to see is beams. We need to see the beams. We need to see speed booster. That's what we need on both these players. So they need to be aggressively taking these right doors to set themselves up for those beams early on. There we go. Imyt with that wave beam, that room 9 wave beam. Imyt gets the quick drop. Looks like he got the quick drop on the one that matters. Is not going to get that second missile pack. But this is a really good start for Imyt because when you gain the 10k points prior to room 50, you're banking those points early on. You actually get a lot of time. So we can see Imyt already at 4 minutes and Andy's 3 minutes. So far, right now, this is looking really good for Imyt. But obviously it's arcade. Anything can happen in the end. Andy taking that left door. This is one of the things I'm talking about. I think Andy needed to consider taking the right door. It's very quick to just jump down and take the right door. If you take the left door, you're not giving yourself the chance to collect a beam. So Andy is gonna go ahead. He wants to grab these supers. And the crabs die quite slowly without any sort of beam. So Imyt gets that charge, but he does have Spazer, so not the worst start. Or no, he does wave. Okay, so not the worst start at all. This is charge room 12. And Andy is going to go ahead and try to get a little bit of health and ends up getting a super off there. So I'm sure he's happy with that bug kill that he just did. But yeah, here we go. Imyt is now heading out to the right. Now Imyt may want to consider at this point not focusing so hard on the left doors because avoiding the bosses can be kind of important at this point. Andy went ahead and is paused right now. And Imyt is fighting a boss. Imyt takes the reset. Now, what room was Imyt on there right now? Because I don't think that reset is worth it at all. Because the time it takes to kill Batuin with the beam that he had is not going to be greater than the time it takes to reset and go through 10 rooms again. So if you have a really crappy beam, getting through 10 rooms on average is going to be similar to going to 10 rooms. So I think Imyt wanted to complete that, especially because he had a lot of time on that specific run. But apparently he was on room 14. So Imyt gets 4 points for that room. And he is now at 29 points. Meanwhile, Andy is at 34 points and grabs some power bombs. And Andy is at room 18. Andy has to be careful. He doesn't have a quick way to kill the menus. Oh my gosh, he dodges them. He dodges them, and each of the spikes on the ground give you 1k points. So 1,000 points, 3,000 points for the bombs that he killed, and he's gonna lay another one down here, another power bomb. He's gonna get 4,000 points plus the menu kills. Oh my gosh, so gains a ton of points. So very well played by Andy. The timing on the power bombs that he just got was absolutely perfect to get through that room, but he had to do some amazing dodges to survive in the first place right there. Absolutely crazy to survive that. All right, here we go. Room 4. Imyt gets morph, gets the just checking. Room 4. And Andy has to do jump morph. Oh, struggling a little bit. Gotta have to jump morph. And he's gonna lay the bomb. Oh, Andy is gonna head all the way to the right. Yeah, that's completely fine. There is a little extra block so you don't get soft lock if you appear from this room on the right side. And Imyt gets the high jump boots. All right, so here we go. Imyt taking the right door. Andy now taking the right door. And both players currently have P shots. All right, so with the shot on the door, Imyt is taking the up door, and Imyt has to get this wall jump. Nice tight wall jump to get over that fish. The fish would absolutely kill him at this point. And Andy is heading over to the right. And Andy does not have high jump boots, so he's going to get the smooth bonus up to there. Andy is going for the missiles. He's going for the missiles over here. It's a little bit slow, but I guess he really wants to make sure that he's got the equipment to take on Fantoon at this point. So here we go. We have Andy. He's probably going to go back up. Already got the bonus, but he just wants to take this right door here because the bottom right door is very dangerous with a lot of hoppers in your way trying to get you killed. Now, Imyt is going to take this right door right here. Can't get the cleanser bonus. Well, he could with the super, but it would be incredibly so completely not worth it. And he's going ahead and using a power bomb right there. I kind of feel like maybe not the best way to use it, but he's fine. Oh, Imyt with a quick wiggle down there. That was pretty funny actually how that worked. Gets the secret bonus right there, 750. And we have Andy fighting the key hunters, and we have plasma for Imyt. Now Imyt, I think Imyt actually has high jump, so he can get out here. So this is really good for Imyt. Very, very good start for Imyt. He's gonna have to kill all the pirates though, but if he didn't have the high jump, he'd have to bomb jump basically to the top. But because he's got this high jump, he can go ahead and wall jump to the top, and he wants to kill that pirate. He's afraid of getting sniped, but I think you kind of have to just wall jump up there and be confident that you're not going to get sniped here. And he's going to do that, jumps up there, kills the plasma and kills the pirate and gets through. So far things looking really good for Imyt, but that means he still has to probably take the right doors, because he still needs beams. This buff is only temporary. It's not long enough. Oh, Imyt in the lava for a little bit longer, so he took a little bit of damage, 48 HP, and he gets the gauntlet. So he needs to get this room, and he's got to get through it well, because if he stays in the acid for too long, he is going to take a death. He's gonna shoot. Okay, he stayed in the acid for a little bit, but it's okay. Watch out for the waiver. Okay, the waiver didn't enter where he was, and Imyt is going to go ahead and lay a bomb. Gotta watch out for the waivers. Okay, will he get through on the next one? And he also gets plasma. Okay, so final room, and Imyt gets through just fine. Okay, so Imyt gets through the gauntlet, and Andy has to bomb jump up. Andy's got a bomb jump up. So this is a lot worse for Andy. Obviously, he doesn't want to lose his bomb jump at the top either. Imyt looks like he missed the pitless. So no 2,000 points for him. And Imyt with the angle shot, he's got to go. He's got to. Oh my gosh, Imyt with the high jump has to be careful. Oh my gosh. He doesn't have a power bomb to take care of the menus, so he's got to either clear the menus or just jump up there. He's got two options here, and I think he's gonna try to clear. He just jumps up there. Okay, well played by Imyt to get through that room. It was difficult, but he wants to take advantage of the plasma here. I think Imyt should just get out of this room. Yeah, you don't really want to do this room if you, the cleanser's not really worth it if you don't have any equipment for it. So Imyt's got to be a little bit careful here. He's only got 50 HP, even though the multiplier is only on level 2. It's just not really, with 50 HP, things are still going to be potentially one-shotting you. So these fire fleas will typically always drop you power bombs. However, if you kill the, wow, they're in the same room again. If you kill the fire fleas and you have full power bombs, they'll always drop you a big health. So Andy also collecting a bunch of health, but Andy with only 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock, even though he's ahead of Imyt. Both players' times are not that great, but Andy's kind of bleeding a lot of time right now, and he decides to just go out and go to the right. This is a good room though, so if Andy can get through these rooms quickly, I think he just wants to start blowing the supers, because yeah, he just wants to start freezing the Metroids and blowing them with supers, because otherwise, if you don't blow them away with the supers, it's like, it's not gonna be good. The missiles just take a little bit too long, and also if you don't have full health, you want to hit the super while you have full missiles, so that they only drop health, not mixed with the missile drops. Okay, Andy gets the high jump boots, and Imyt looks like, I don't know if you already had charred, but looks like he gets out of the right. Oh, Imyt jumps up there, forgoes the 1k points, but with that quick jump, that was probably worth it. So Imyt's gonna go ahead and down grab up here, and make this tight jump up to the wall jump. Yeah, so it gets that completely fine, and Andy is flying through these rooms as well. Oh, Andy at room 48. These rippers don't hurt that much. Their base damage is not that high, so if he took a hit there, he was probably going to be fine. And Andy's just flying through these rooms. He's going really quick right now, almost playing without a care in the world, just kind of like no nervousness, just flying through and jumping and like killing everything. So gets rewarded with a missile, 750 points on top of that Chozo. 20 minutes left on the clock, and Imyt gets that speed booster. All right, so Andy, ooh, almost fell on that crab. Would have been a little bit, ooh, misses the super. I think he wanted to make sure to kill that crab and then grab the super pack, but he gets Croc. Okay. If there was a time to get Croc, this is probably the best one. Because the plasma makes short work of him, and Andy's time is actually low. So I think he wants the time here. So even though this fight is slow, this is about the best you could ask for. Meanwhile, Imyt has to, ooh, okay, so Imyt only has 2 missiles, has to just move on forward, can't get the 2k points from that Metroid. And so, because Imyt is a little bit behind, the time loss that Andy is taking from the Croc is probably something that Imyt needs. Now, if Andy takes an immediate death after the Croc, obviously that means all this time that he's wasting is going to be wasted. All the time that he's using up right here is going to be put to waste. Both players have 18 minutes and 30 seconds left before they can no longer do any more runs. So Imyt is going to run over to the right and head down that door. Imyt can also get Croc at this point. And he gets rewarded with Space Jump. Space Jump is honestly, even though it is considered a buff, it actually introduces some very bad rooms. So overall, I would consider Space Jump not to be that great of a room. Oh, and he's a little bit scared because if he gets hit by that fireball, it's kind of lights out. This one power bomb is useful because it gets you 3,000 points. It kills all the guys in the room, and they're worth 1,000 points each. Okay, so Andy does he have speed booster? I believe, does he? No, he does not have speed booster. Okay, so this room is a lot better with speed booster. However, with this beam, you can make short work of the pirates. The big problem with these Andy takes an eye level shot because he crouched too late and dies in room 55 right after getting the room multiplier, right after fighting Croc. So unfortunately, that did not really pay out the way that he wanted to, but that is good for 50 points. So Andy is now at 84 points, and Imyt needs to make this run count. He's kind of in a similar, and Imyt jumps and lands on the fish. So a double KO. Imyt dies at room 46, but that's good for 36 points. But that means Andy is definitely going to be in the lead here. That's 65 points for Imyt, and that's 84 points for Andy. Now, as we've seen before, we've seen both of these players get runs that are worth hundreds of points, that are worth over 100 points, right? So in the end, Andy has increased the lead by a little bit, and that lead is 19 points. However, it is far from over. It's a double KO. We're seeing the same thing. They're almost like on the same wavelength here. So what really matters is who's going to kind of clutch it out in the last 15 minutes of this match. Andy has the lead, so he's got a little bit of an edge. But in the end, it's on Imyt to kind of make these last few runs count. Now Imyt with that early wave beam, I'm sure that's going to make him a little bit happier. All right, so here we go. We have Imyt heading over to grab the morph. And he does not have bombs yet, so he's not going to get the just checking bonus. Meanwhile, Andy gets a pretty tough room, the Leodox room. So you really, really want to make this room. Oh, and Imyt gets it as well. So let's see if both these players, let's see if they can do it. Imyt, clearly with the experience, has gone through it a little bit faster. Andy's kind of taking his time a bit more. Imyt is going to get that moonfall down there. And he's going to make it to the top. Now he just has to clear these 2 pirates at the bottom. And Andy gets through no damage. Imyt, will he get through no damage as well? Imyt also gets through no damage. So well played by both. Now here's the thing. That Leodox room, it's not that you get a bonus from doing the no damage. It's more like to stop the bleeding, you need to get the no damage. Because that room eats a lot of time no matter what. And so ideally you can get the no damage so you stop the bleeding a little bit, because yeah, the time is just, it's just not good. It's a long room. You really don't want to have to do this. Meanwhile, we have Andy kind of getting through these rooms, picks up the power bombs, but Andy, I believe right now does not have a beam. Yeah, so with the P shot, everything is look, it's so hard to just even kill the crab right now. Meanwhile, we have Imyt with the wave beam. Even though it's just one beam, it's so much better than having absolutely nothing. So here we go. Andy is gonna go ahead and grab the secret, and then he's gonna go jump down to the left and try to make it down without taking anything. As long as you hold left on the left side and you clear that first fish, you should be fine. And Imyt is gonna go ahead and turn off high jump boots to get the secret, to get the achievement, and then turn them back on. So now Imyt with the speed booster, wave speed booster, high jump, room 13. This is looking like the seed that he wants. So Imyt is going to go ahead and spin jump down, and Andy is gonna go ahead and collect that ice beam. 14 minutes left on the clock for both players. And Andy does not have speed booster. Takes a hit from the spine, but the spine doesn't do that much, so he's completely fine. We're definitely at a point where the players have to make these runs count, but if these players, Imyt in particular, I think does not want to be dying here because his loadout is quite good. Meanwhile, Andy only doesn't really have a beam. Ice beam I would not say really counts, but okay, there we go. Now he's got that spacer, so now he's looking better. And Imyt gets a reserve. That is a reserve tank up there in the top right. He's got to get this break free, 3,000 points, and this is a situation where he needs to make this run count. He wants to get like 100. He wants to get like 100 rooms here. That's what he wants to do. Oh, and he's got to be a little bit careful. That pancake will take him out if he doesn't. Now, 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Imyt still wants to try building up as much points as possible, but right now Imyt is definitely in a bigger situation to be in. Now, obviously, Andy is ahead by 19 points. So it's sort of like a pick your battle here. What situation would you rather be in? Imyt's with a 19-point deficit. However, you have a good loadout and you have a reserve, or do you want to be in Andy's situation? Now Imyt has to be careful. I think he's going too early. Okay, he's got it. Okay, room 21. It's fine. The crabs aren't moving that quick. If you're at room 50 and you hesitate and then you jump down after seeing that global crab, not seeing the global crab, you can be at a bad spot where you jump down right as he tags you. And not only that, the left crab, the moment he goes on camera, he's gonna fly at you super fast. So you gotta be extra careful sometimes. Okay, so Imyt is gonna go ahead and try to pick up some of these points. 200 points per shot. And Andy is moving on. Andy kind of really needs to start getting a speed booster. Andy is going to go ahead and grab these drops. Oh, that's not smart, Andy. Oh my gosh. Andy's beam is not that great, and there's some weird properties in that room where you're falling down. You can't hit that pancake when he's like off screen really, so sometimes your shots can like phase through, and that freaked me out because I thought there was a good chance Andy was gonna get killed right there, but proves me wrong, gets through, and he was completely fine and gets a missile, 2 missiles, and a super in return. All right, so good thing Andy has a super to get through, and oh, Imyt makes it through. That was a little bit dangerous. And Imyt, baby skip. Can he do it? Does he have bombs? This is huge. If Imyt can do this baby skip, it's worth 10,000 points. It's worth 10,000 points. And that is good for 40 seconds on the clock. And he can really cook with this run. He does not have bombs. Oh, he doesn't have bombs, but... Oh, he didn't have bombs. I think that surprised him a little bit. I think he wasn't sure if he had bombs or not. And if you don't have bombs, that first jump is so much harder. But he still made the first jump, which is the hardest part. But I think he kind of either maybe he just something went wrong and he couldn't get the last few jumps and missed it. So yeah, that was unfortunate. Baby skip, I believe they won't give it to you unless you have high jump plus speed booster. I think the requirements are kind of like what the traditional any percent speed run is. Okay, meanwhile, we have Andy's gonna go pick up the secret. Secret's worth 4,000 back there. That's why. You're also getting 750 for each pancake you kill along the way. And Andy's gotta be careful. And there's fish down there. You gotta watch out. There's another fish, and Andy is completely fine. Okay. All right, so Imyt is heading through the down door this time. I'm kind of wondering if Imyt feels like, okay, this is the run that I need to make count because I have the reserve. And Imyt, or Andy, ooh, okay, so yeah, this is probably the best way to go about the cleanser. Oh, he dodges that shot. That was so dangerous. The pirate is dead, Andy, so you can go down. Yeah, so you can get the cleanser and just weave downhill and just kill everything on here. And the fastest way is honestly probably just to wiggle down, fall down through the things a little clumsily. So Andy gets through. It was a little bit slow, but I think it was fine overall. Now, Imyt kind of wants to refill yeah, he's gonna it's a tight predicament to get into because Imyt, he's got to be careful. I think Imyt's a little bit scared. Oh, he took a hit from the fly. He's just got to go, I think. He's got to maybe freeze them, jump under and go. Yeah, I think that's what he's got to do. So he's gonna go ahead and freeze that guy. Watch out for the bugs that are coming. And he's got to morph through, and he's gonna pick up the E-Tank. So a little slow, but he should be fine. And Andy collects that charge beam, and he's gonna go up ahead and head to the right. So both players on the same room comp, but obviously, you know, the difference is Andy has additional points, and Andy now gets the Varia. And Imyt has the better loadout, and he's got the reserve. So this is definitely an interesting game. We got a lot of things going on here. All right, so Imyt is gonna go ahead and probably take this down door at this point. He's shooting some of the guys. I think as a result, I think because his health is not full, that's sort of like one of the purposes of also shooting these guys. But I think in general, he probably just wants to move. So yeah, the 500 points is a little bit slow, and he is getting close to the 2x multipliers, but at the same time, when you get to room 50, the value of your points also drop. Okay, so Andy's loadout looking pretty good right now. Oh, that's the thing, Andy, when you take too long to do your speed booster in this room, what ends up happening is that waiver will get you. So because Andy kind of like paused, hesitated, turned back, and then speed boosted, that's why the waiver was hitting him. But Andy gets screw attack, so even though he has that doesn't have the wave yet, I believe, he does have screw attack, and he's got space jump. It's a strong combo. So even if he gets some bad rooms at this point, I think he could deal with it. But he does not have the reserve, which is what you kind of really want by the time you get Varia. Okay, so it's very crucial that Andy gets the refunds, and Imyt gets plasma beam. So very good for him. Things are looking really good, and Andy gets a super refill on each and every one. Otherwise, he would have had a hard time killing the Metroids. This is a tough room to normally get, but Andy with the screw attack takes care of it quickly. So both players in a really good spot right now, and it's tricky to get in. So Andy lays a power bomb here, and that goes ahead and takes care of a bunch of them. But there might be a crab coming for him. Okay, there was a crab coming for him, because that power bomb did not take care of the top left crab. So Andy, you gotta be careful. No, Andy takes the death. That's the problem with screw attack. You feel like you're invincible, but you are in fact not invincible. Dies at room 47. Dies at room 47. So that's 37 points for Andy. And that means Andy is now at 121 points. Now it looks like there's a big difference between the two runners, but Imyt is actually on a very, very good run. Now, one of the issues that you can that why this might be a problem for Imyt is if you're trying to be optimal, you want your last run to count when just as the timer runs out. So like let's say Imyt's run dies at 1 minute and he starts a fresh run. That's kind of the problem, right? But the problem is Imyt's in a situation where he probably wants to carry this run until the end. He probably wants to just crank out like 130 run at this point. So that's the issue right here. So if Andy gets a really good run here as well, it's not over for him. So we'll see how far Imyt can take this one, but I'm sure he's a little bit worried and looking at that timer. But the thing is, now that he has his plasma, I think he's sort of committed at finishing out this run, unless something bad, really, really bad happens. Because his time is okay, and he's got a really strong loadout. So we see Imyt, he's just moving fast at this point. Meanwhile, we have Andy, speed room 5. Both of these players have been getting speed early, so that's really good for arcade. So this has been really good. The points total is basically, if you look at the rule set on the bottom, it's the total of all their points. So it's constantly being updated. So Imyt gets a few quick rooms, and Imyt now has the space jump. Meanwhile, Andy gets a room that's close to worth resetting because this room is quite difficult. The gauntlet. But Andy, no stranger to randomizers, is able to do this room pretty well so far. Now there is a secret. Let's see if Andy grabs it. Yep, the 2,000 point secret at the top. Ooh, Andy's in a kind of a bad situation, but that's okay. The waiver, now here's the thing. Later in the game when you get this room, the waivers will often are another threat. You think the acid is a danger, but the waivers will also start one-shotting you. So Andy took a hit from the waiver, but because there's no damage multiplier, the waivers are not hitting for much at all, so it was completely fine. But that's something to consider late in the game when you get the gauntlet. All right, so we have Imyt flying through. You can see Imyt is kind of like he's kind of like, all right, thinking off, and we just play. Let's not overthink it. Let's just play fast, and let's just go for we're gonna like try to go for like a PB basically. He's kind of got that mindset going, and I think he's playing quite well as a result. And that's what he needs to do because he does have a little bit of a points disadvantage to Andy. Meanwhile, Andy is getting like really screwed over with a bunch of these rooms. We're getting to the point where his time is starting to get kind of bad. He may want to consider just resetting so he can get a run that has 3 minutes fresh. All right, so good short charge for Imyt. We saw he was having some trouble with that earlier today, but gets it relatively quickly this time. Andy's gonna miss a cycle on that acid here, but 10,000 points for Imyt right there. He's at room 70. So Imyt is really popping off right now. It's looking really good. Now he's got to watch out. Oh my gosh. He had to watch his head right though. Imyt just has to keep shooting down. Just keep shooting down. Okay, now he's good. Now he's got to look right. And Andy, getting close to taking a death. That acid at the last part, you need a little bit of health because you will probably touch the acid for a little bit. All right, so here we go. Imyt is gonna head up. Imyt now with a bunch of E-tanks. He's got 2 supers. He's got no missiles though. But without that Varia, he's not gonna be seeing Mother Brain anytime soon. Grabs a little bit of extra health to head out over to the next room. Okay, another good room for Imyt. This is a free set of power bombs. That's one of the things he's missing. Power bombs are very crucial later in the game. And he gets he thought he didn't have the smooth bonus. He's gonna go back up probably to get no, okay. So he's just choosing, you know what? I'm not gonna get the speed booster bonus. Maybe he's not super confident in his short charge right now. But this is another set of power bombs. Probably worth getting with how fast you could freeze those guys and the fact that you could space jump back out, and he wants the extra missiles. Okay, so Imyt is gonna go ahead and grab these and he's gonna head back out. Wants to make sure he refreezes these guys and head back out. So Imyt's getting pretty well equipped at this point. I mean, his loadout is basically as good as it kind of can gotta get. So it's looking really good for him. Meanwhile, Andy is starting to bank up some more points, and Andy needs a beam. That's the one thing he's kind of missing. Oh, Andy's got to be careful. Andy's got to be careful. Andy needs to do this room quick because if he dies, he can just restart. If he takes really long and he doesn't get through this room, it's just not going to be good. So running start to jump up there, and he makes it up there. Well played by Andy. But 1 minute and 30. Is it worth playing out when you have 1 minute and 30 on the clock? It's probably okay because he's going to get 80 seconds from this room because he's gonna kill the pirates, 500 points each, and he's gonna get 10k from all the secrets in this room. So that's gonna help him quite a bit. Wait, he left. Did he get the cleanser? I don't think he got the cleanser. I think Andy needed to do that. Okay, well, Andy's on the last legs of this run. He's got 1 minute and 50 left. And there's 1 minute left on the actual game timer. So this might be the last run for both players. He gave up the cleanser. Will Andy reset? Will Andy reset with just a few seconds left? That would be an interesting play right there. If he's sacking the run, he wants to eke it out as much as he can. So that could actually make a lot of sense. 25 seconds left on the timer. Imyt is gonna spark across this room. And Andy's dead. Okay, so he's gonna take a room 26 death. No, he's not dead. Okay, he resets. So 26, and Andy's going for the final run. So very well played. Andy with the big brain plays right there. That's 16 points. And Imyt's gonna have to jump up here. Watch out for that Sova. And so Andy now has 137 points, and he is on his final run, and Imyt is also on his final run, and Imyt needs to make this one count. Imyt currently at room 89. because Imyt is at room 89 right now, he's teabagging. He got the plasma and he's teabagging. Imyt at room 89 as of right now, if he were to quit out right now, has 183 points. Has 183 points. And that's why there is a big deficit right now, and Imyt is strongly in the lead. Now he has to get the spark, and if Andy dies at any point, it's game over. So it is up to Andy to make this count, because, and you might be asking, why is it so drastic? It's because none of these players except Andy have gotten to the 2x multiplier. Andy was the only one to get through it, but he only got to room 55. So he only got 5 bonus points. So Imyt's bonus points right now that he's racking up is incredibly high, and Andy has actually taken quite a few deaths. Imyt just lost his reserve. He still has a lead, but Imyt wants to close this out. He wants to make sure that Andy's really feeling the pain and really getting squeezed out here. Bomb Terizo. Imyt never got bombs until room 93. That's why he's never found charge. Oh my gosh. Look at the difference. Bomb Terizo for both players, but look at the loadout difference. And Niv says LOL. That's LOL. All right, so we're gonna have to actually have our audio on Andy, because right now, if Imyt were to die right now, that would be it. That's the final run, right? However, if Andy dies right now, the game is over, no matter what, because Andy is currently behind. So can Andy clutch it out and really pull off a strong run right now? Because if Andy can't clutch out a very strong run, that's it. Because right now at Imyt nearing room 100, once again, very, very strong performance in Arcade Showdown. We have Andy rolling over to the left. We have Imyt continuing to increase the lead that he has, taking the down doors, because now time does not matter. The real time does not matter. All that matters is how well can you complete this last run, and bosses that are free are completely invited because all they can do is increase your time. I thought Andy was about to get a boss. I don't even know. I closed my eyes for a sec. I didn't even know if he had his charge right now. I think he does. But if he got a boss right there, that could have been really bad. A Phantoon at this stage of the game is not what he wants to see. Oh, Imyt. Oh, that gamer almost got him. All right. So here we go. We have Andy heading over to the left. Heading back over to the right. And Andy with the free E-Tank. Okay, E-Tanks at the rooms 10, 20, 30, at one E-Tank is really nice. And Imyt getting the climb, so banking up even more points. This is a really good run for Imyt. Oh, Imyt! Andy takes the death! Andy takes the death, and that's it! That's it! What room did he just die? He just smashed the reset button. I'm gonna have to hit that clip right there because I'm gonna check it myself. But that's it. Andy takes the death. Imyt's probably gonna keep playing because he's honestly on a PV pace right now. But Andy dies at room 23. And that's it. Room 23. Final score between Andy and Imyt. 213 versus 150. Can we pop into your Discord, Imyt?
Yo.
All right.
Hello.
So on call right now, we got Imyt versus Andy, and we have today's winner Imyt and today's runner-up Andy. GG's to both of you. Any thoughts on the match? But it was an awesome match, so I'm really happy to have calmed that. But yeah, any thoughts from both of you?
Yeah. I mean, you got to give Andy some credit for putting up a fight, right? I mean, he did all right. Eddie, I know Eddie was feeding him seeds on that second match for the plot armor, so it wasn't a quick 2-0, but
Yeah, just like your last one, right?
That last one was pretty good. That last seed I have is actually pretty good. No fucking no charge and bombs to like 92.
Dude, I
Just
literally
pure cookage.
restarted with like 5 seconds left on the clock, and I got both of them before you did.
I did a lot of tactical resets, which actually to me paid off a good bit. Like every time I reset a room that was fucking horrible in the first like 10 rooms, I'd got like wave and then speed right after, and I was like, I'm so smart. My brain is gigantic.
Dude, my kit was so bad before, like, towards the end of this last race. I was like, I'll reset. No way it'll be worse in a new seed, right? And then I got charged in room 11, and I was like, oh, okay. That's how this
That
one's gonna go, I
last-
guess.
The last match was actually driving me insane because I kept getting like Batoon and shit. Like I got Batoon at 14 after getting that Varia at room 13. I was like, okay, dude, like what's going? Right after I reset a 5 boss rush. Everyone's in chat's like, dude, image skill up, dude. Like what's going on? Meanwhile, Andy's like, do plasma round 3, like, and he's laughing on call, and I can't talk to him. I can only hear him.
It was
my
so
mic doesn't come
funny.
through. I just hear Andy laughing. He didn't even say anything. He just started laughing. I look over and he gets plasma again. I'm like, dude, come on. And then he laughs again. Every time he laughed, I knew he got something big. He laughed like midway in between the plasmas, and it was a reserve. And I was like, dude, this is fucking over. This is over.
The funniest in this last set, it was like right at the start. I think me and Imyt both got the shitty escape room with all the pirates on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time, and I fucked up my moonfall. He's, God, nice moonfall, you fucking idiot. And I looked at Imyt's screen, and he was in the same room, and I'm like, oh God, I'm glad you didn't miss it, so you didn't think I was calling you a fucking idiot.
Oh shit, that's so funny.
Oh
yeah.
gosh. Okay, Imyt, I have to ask you.
What's up?
when you were like room 36, and I think you got like your 4th boss at that point. How tilted were you when that happened?
I was so tilted when I got Batoon because I just like didn't. I'm like, dude, I didn't know what to do because I was already regretting my decision not resetting at Fantoon, and the only reason I did it is because Andy didn't, and it looked like he was gonna die, and I felt like I had Speed Booster and I had Spazer, and I was like, you know what? If he dies here or doesn't do it fast, and we're round equal, I think I have a better loadout, and I'm just going to be in good shape if I kill Fantoon.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got Kraid, and then I got Batoon, which I killed, and then I got Spore Spawn. And I was like, I don't know which one I tapped out on. I don't even remember. It was so many bosses. I was like, this is so stupid. And it wasn't above 50. I was extremely tilted. I just immediately reset. I was like, nope, dude, you can't. When do you think I should have reset? Like when, or should I just kept going? Like I don't even know.
I think you had to keep going there. I think you had to keep going
Yeah,
because you had such a good timer.
I actually rage quit.
That's kinda
I
what
actually rage quit.
I thought you were gonna rage quit when Andy, when that previous scene when you got your your plasma runs out, you get like 1 free room and then you immediately get plasma again. I thought Imyt was gonna rage quit after seeing that.
Oh, like rage quit the match? No, I always think I can win though because, like, I know I can go very far. So that's why I was resetting a lot at the end with like 5 minutes left.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like, well, I just want speed or wave early, and then I think I can like cook up a huge giganto seed. But I threw, and Andy cooked.
So Imyt, or Andy,
if you want to know how tilted Imyt was in match 2, all caps, literally had 5 bosses before 35. You win, GG. Batoon room 14, force reset, LOL.
Hey, that's exactly what happened.
Andy, at the very end of the last seed that we just played,
shit.
you didn't get the cleanser because you were planning on doing a reset with like 30 seconds left, right? Is that what the plan was?
Yeah, so
Got it.
I was like not getting any of the secrets because my timer wasn't long enough that I wouldn't die from time before I was gonna have to reset anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Then muscle memory made me like start doing cleanser there anyways, and I was like, wait, shit, what the fuck am I doing?
I saw. I looked over and I saw
the first long room I got. I just bailed immediately.
Yeah, I saw you reset with like barely any time on the clock.
Yeah, it was smart because he actually he got climb, and he could have gotten the cleanser, right? So I was like,
Yeah.
why did he? Because he did up the shaft, and then he didn't do the cleanser. He just went out the top door. So I was confused. But it's because that seed was really bad. He got like gauntlet. He got like 2 gauntlets basically.
It was my timer was so bad. I had no ammo, no weapons. I'd only charged, I think, and it was just like this is gonna be terrible if I continue this. So I should just try and get something better.
Yeah. So what he did was you squeezed out as many because you knew the next one was going to be your last no matter what. So you squeezed out as many rooms as you could before you reset, right? So I think that was really smart actually. That's good play.
Yeah, it's good shit. Oh yeah, I guess I was trying to remember how the last match ended because I felt like I was like, did I have a chance? I know I clutched a lot of things, but then I got Mother Brain, right?
Yeah.
But I had Wave and Ice. God, that was brutal.
I think the Mother Brain, in theory, with the situation you were in, was good for you because Andy had a really big lead. Yeah,
I
because he
wasn't
got a
really
huge run.
I wasn't like, oh shit, I got Mother Brain. I was like, okay, let's just do this. But
Well,
I was
Mother
a
Brain was
little
once
bummed.
the timer was up, so it was just like
Exactly.
time didn't matter anymore.
Yeah, but I just sucked because I didn't have Spazer.
Yeah, it was a hard. Everything was.
It was
hard.
a really tough fight. I was like, yeah, and I just got one shot by one under.
You get hella points.
21,000. It would have given him so much time. It would have been.
Yeah,
really
because I did
good.
the damage list first part.
Yeah.
I did that part damage list, so I got huge points for that.
Yeah. But you would have had to
it
cook
was
like
tough.
a big run there. I think you would have had to get like 100 or something, and you didn't have like that much time, so
Right.
it would have been hard.
Yeah, it
but
would've been-
I finished
it would've
that
been
one at
tough.
what, like 290 something, I think.
Yeah.
yeah, you had a lot of points in that one, so it was you banked so much because the first run you had that one, you got like what 100.
Yeah, the first one was
something?
like 112.
Yeah, so you banked so many points.
Super dumb death.
Well, how did you die again? How did that work out?
It was the stupid on the way to Bubble Mountain room backwards, and I like got nicked by a gamer to use my reserve. And the next room was like the Mission Impossible.
Oh,
and then the side hopper just hopped high and killed me.
yeah. Oh yeah, Rising Tide into the big hopper.
Yeah, if I had my reserve, I would have been fine. But the stupid gamer going 8,000 miles an hour got me.
Yeah, it took a weird path because it like looped and then it like tagged you in the leg. Yeah, you're always like staring at the seahorses because they're gonna machine gun you, but then the gamer will always just like they'll gank you from the back. So it's
and they're going so fast, you have no fucking idea where they're gonna go.
Exactly, because their paths change too. So
it's all just one tile gaps.
Yeah, but that was sick. You guys put up an awesome show. It was really fun to watch. You guys have any last things you wanted to say?
No, that was fun. It was a good race. Shout outs to Eddie. Everyone follow him and watch him. He's pushing for partner and good shit, Andy. Thanks for racing with me. It was fun.
Yeah. I've been streaming for like 10 hours, so I'm gonna
Holy shit. I'm gonna try to PB this arcade.
Well, let's go, dude.
I'm actually gonna try to PB this.
If you don't PB, I get the W by default.
That's actually true. That is actually true.
So final thing, I guess in this technically between matches between you two and Arcade, I guess you guys are now 1-1, right?
Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. Let's do another one then.
Okay, so
all right.
this
next week. All right. Showdown next week, dude.
This proves that Imyt's luckier because when I beat him, we played the exact same seats.
Watch this race back, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. I did the craziest shit. You see my frog Hellway deep boost, Eddie? Into like killing the super after I rolled through at 10 HP. That shit was funny. But yeah, all right. I guess Andy and I will have another score to settle in the future. All right, guys, I'm getting off court.
The winner of that is the ultimate Super Metroid champion.
Yeah, the ultimate Super Metroid gamer.
Yep.
All right, guys, I'm out. GG's. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Eddie.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
thank you both
Eddie.
for playing. Appreciate both of you. It was awesome.
Peace out.
GG.